We up. We live. How's everyone doing? I'm just trying to get everything in position here. I'm dog sitting this week, so I don't have the normal setup if you didn't notice, but I think everything we need. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. Let me know if there's any issues. All right, I got the chat. Let me just make sure I sound all right on my end. I think everything we need. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. Let me know if there's any issues. Audio seems maybe a little choppy. Testing mic. All right, I got the chat. That's unfortunate. Let's see. All right, let's see. Don't mind the trippiness for a second here. That's unfortunate. Let's see. Okay, how we doing now? You guys says sounds great. All right, let me know if you have any issues, guys. I don't know my regular setup, so don't mind the trip. We're kind of going with the flow a little bit here. But welcome in to the free agent frenzy reaction. I'm not just exactly sure kind of how this is going to go as far as like how long we go, what our topics are going to be, how much news breaks while we're live. I'm hoping it's a ton. I did get a super chat question earlier from my dude Josh Alstrom, so I'll start with that. Thank you, Josh, for the super chat. Any super chat questions I will absolutely answer, guys, so I appreciate your support. The question was something along the lines of the Detroit Lions, and I think it was from Josh Alstrom, unless it was from someone else and I'm screwing that up, but it was, should the Lions sort of go the Tampa Bay Buccaneers route in the draft, because I've talked about them kind of building through the offensive line, but should they potentially go with the defensive back route and draft, say, Caleb Farley and someone like Richie Grant in the second round? And that's intriguing. I actually like that idea, because you got Akuda, you do have the other, I should pull up our lads. We're definitely going to be doing some hour ladding on this stream, but Tracy Walker, you could have a pretty nasty secondary there if you addressed free agency early on there. Colton asks, ideal Dolphins offseason. Well, that's like a full whole, deep dive thing, but I think ideally you improve the offensive line, you get another playmaker in there, and I think fix the offense, basically. Get another playmaker, fix the offensive line. Most likely free agent the Pats will sign. I think Jonnu Smith to the Patriots makes a ton of sense. Either there or like Allen Robinson, Kenny Golladay. I do think they spend up for a free agent receiver. Oh, you know what? I'm going to change that. And say Curtis Samuel actually makes a ton of sense. Reunite him with Cam Newton. They don't draft receivers well. They have the money for him. And if you are going to go with Cam Newton, give him a guy that's super good in the catch and run game, quick separation. He can get vertical, and Cam can occasionally hit the deep ball, so like that's in there, but you're going to focus on him kind of elevating the floor of the offense. So like I think Curtis Samuel to New England is a really nice fit. Then from Loomer, what's my take on Taysom Hill's contract? I mean, it wasn't even really a contract extension. It was just it was just a subtle move to kick the can down the road. It's nothing the Saints haven't done 10,000 times over the last 5 years. It was just an absolute troll job by Sean Payton, which I respect the troll from Sean Payton. He's like, wait till they see this. Boom, $140 million of just phantom ghost money for Taysom Hill, but that was funny. Chances the Giants get Kenny. I know they're pushed up against the cap. It would be a good fit. I like Kenny Golladay because they've talked about wanting a big-bodied wide receiver, but I think they might get outpriced personally. Also, guys, while I'm answering questions, F5 is refresh, right? If any news comes in, definitely let me know. And I got Twitter right in front of me, so we already got one right here. Cardinals have re-signed Marcus Golden, so that probably terminates Hassan Reddick officially from Arizona. Sorry for any D-bag comments that come up on stream today. If there's any kids watching, it's Twitter, so there's only so much I can do. But yeah, Hassan Reddick officially probably out there in Arizona. It's a good move there. They need some starting edge help, so I'm assuming that's a pretty cheap contract. Getting him back, he's bounced around the league. All right, we got another question from Ryan Millen. Oh, I already did that. Was kind of from Robert. Thoughts on the Eagles pursuing Jacoby Brissett? That makes sense. I mean, veteran for Hurts. Someone that if Hurts totally flops and is just someone you can't even start, he's a quality backup. The Eagles have continuously kind of valued having a backup quarterback, so that one definitely makes sense there. I want to make sure I don't miss any questions here. Chat's coming in nice, but thank you guys for joining me. This is going to be fun. I do have a list of... Okay, there's something. I do have a list of talking points of stuff that's already happened, but it looks like Shaq Barrett's going back to Tampa. That was not a surprise, or that is not a surprise. It's probably going to be a lot of money, but after the Tom Brady extension and the contract that Levante David got, it was pretty clear to me they've been very upfront that they wanted to keep all three of those guys, and it's looks like it's going to happen. I imagine that's going to come in a kind of backloaded big deal for Shaq Barrett. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Shaq Barrett has like bonuses that he gets that money right now, but in like 2024, after potentially Tom Brady's retired. Tom Brady, I mean, he could play till he's freaking 50. I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if that Shaq Barrett contract is a lot of bonuses where he is getting that cash now, but where it's not a big cap hit up front, and that as the cap space develops as we go, it's more structured well. From the Bucks have been just outstanding in that front office for years now. Jason Light and that group, they've elevated to be with the Colts, and the Chiefs are iffy, but I would still probably throw the Chiefs in the top 5. The Saints, the Niners. There's some really good front offices out there. The Ravens, the Bucks have definitely elevated to that stature. Could I do a deep dive on the Lions? Well, Portal, I don't know if you have been around or what, but that's probably the best thing I do in this channel is my deep dive series every summer. I do a countdown, 32 leading up to number 1 of the power rankings reveals, and I do 40 plus minutes on each team. So make sure you stick around. You'll get a Lions deep dive after the draft. And spoiler alert, they're going to be one of the first teams I do. I think they'll probably come in the bottom 5 unless they have some ridiculous offseason. From Jason, does the Zeitler deal affect Washington football team and Scherf? No. No, Scherf's in a different tier than Zeitler. Zeitler is... What is Zeitler? 30... Hopefully I'm good to go. Although YouTube seems like it's fine. I don't know what happened. Anyway, Kevin Zeitler. My parents' internet is not my 1,000 download speed that I have at my apartment. So I'm hoping everything goes smoothly here. But yeah, Kevin Zeitler's 31 coming off the worst year of his career. Whereas Sheriff, he's not young, but he's probably 20, 29, turns 30 by the end of the year. I mean, Sheriff is worth he wants, I imagine, that kind of big contract at the end of his career here. From Pedro, what's going on? How can they still salvage themselves this? Raiders. How can they salvage themselves this offseason? God, the Raiders, dude. Raiders, I don't know what the hell they're doing, dude. Steve. I don't know if Steve just got breaking news there. But we were talking about the Raiders. Yeah, that offensive line was like their best strength, and they obliterated it. They've been pretty good at getting guys to step up. They had, was it Landon Young or who's the Sam Young? Sam Young at right tackle kind of stepped up, a veteran out of Notre Dame for them. But, I mean, the Raiders need a right tackle. Gabe Jackson's gone. Incognito's gone. John Simpson can probably start next year, so they need to fix the right side of the line. Receiver, you're probably just leaving it and hoping that Brian Edwards plays well in year 2. Draft a guy maybe second, third round there. But the defense is just such a mess, dude. Like, you need a true number 1 edge. You need an interior rusher that can help out Maurice Hurst. The linebacker group underperformed, but I think you're probably trusting them. They need, like, everything in the secondary. They're just such a mess. And then it's not like they have some... okay. It's not like they have some crazy... quarterback to carry everything. But Aquara signing with Detroit, that's a good deal for Detroit. I'm not going to lie. Malik's pissed. It's a good deal for Detroit. That's a really good value contract. He was one of the top pressure guys last year in the league. Double-digit sacks for whatever that's worth, but Detroit's doing some nice stuff. I think that new regime with did they sign George Patton? Is that what they went with? Is George Patton? Brad Holmes. Patton went to Denver. Brad Holmes from the Rams, right? Where's his wiki? Is this his wiki? Chat, was Brad Holmes from the Rams? I think he was, because that's part of why they wanted Goff. But definitely a good move for Detroit. Keep that, keep growing that defense. You don't want to lose talent if you're Detroit. Keep him there with his brother, too. Brad Holmes is from the Rams, yeah. So I like the things he's doing. That was actually a part of my talking, a piece on my talking points was they sneakily signed Josh Hill, who you guys that have been around have heard me talk about the Dan Campbell kind of increasing the blocking there in Detroit, being a nice step in the right direction for them, because they've had like talent on that offensive line. It's just they haven't been able to develop those guys, and I think part of it is just like they don't scheme well, they don't coach technique well, and I think Campbell is all across the board from tight end to offensive line is going to really increase the blocking for the first time in a while in Detroit. They'll have a better run game. Now the defensive line of scrimmage getting better. They have like a very sound approach. It's not like the most high upside approach. They're not going to come out and win a Super Bowl next year, but I think building that culture and getting that line play really established. I mean, look at like New Orleans, Green Bay, New England, San Francisco, all the best teams in the league that like eventually become great teams, they have a baseline of line play and development at that position where you're not like constantly having to overpay. That's the only saving grace on the Corey Linsley thing with Green Bay. Looks like Andy Dalton's returning to Dallas. Anna's not going to be happy about that. We'll see if he gets any other offers. I think like Denver would be a good spot for Dalton just as a backup for Drew Lock. But yeah, Josh Hill was a sneaky good signing who was coached up by Dan Campbell, who is just, that's what he does. He gets dudes to block their ass off. That is what he brings to the table, which is something. That's more than like Jason Garrett or Mike McCarthy bring to the table as a head coach. At least he offers something of value. So I like that they're kind of going at that approach. From Vic, sorry about the Packers. I'm hoping for Lindsey Tooney to Arizona, so you can thank Goody for that. Yes, you absolutely can. Stupid cheese Packers, man. Unbelievable. I don't even really want to talk about it. I mean, there's nothing that hasn't been said yet. Just disappointing, man. Just disappointing. You can't pay Aaron Jones. The funny thing is like Packers fans love it. Let your emotions go for 2 goddamn seconds. It was a terrible move. They have no starting corner. Receiver is still in need. The offensive line has lost now their starting right tackle, which I think can be replaced. But now your center and your right tackle, those are critical freaking positions. Like, why do you think Aaron Jones averaged 5.3 yards per carry? You think it's because he's just, Adrian Peterson in his prime? No. He's a good running back. He's worth, $8 to $10 million. He's definitely not worth 10 plus. I don't think really any running back other than like Kamara and McCaffrey are. Maybe Dalvin and Henry. But Aaron Jones is not in that tier. He's in the tier 2 of running backs. Like, you let Aaron Jones go. You let A.J. Dillon reap the benefit of Corey Linsley in front of him and all of these great all-pro linemen. You let A.J. Dillon go off. You sign a James White for a league minimum contract to be your third down running back, and you're fine. I don't even want to talk about Green Bay. It's just fucking depressing, dude. It's such a terrible front office, and no one ever holds them accountable because they don't have a freaking owner. If the Packers had an owner, they wouldn't be so incompetent for this long, because eventually you'd get somebody be like, you know what, I want to be good. I want to be I want to be great. I want to have a year where we're a Super Bowl team. But they're just content to just go about their business. Anyway, where do I think Lindsey will go? The highest bidder. Arizona is definitely would be a good spot for them. So Shaq Barrett, 4 years, $72 million, 36 guaranteed. Wow. It's a great contract. Only 36 guaranteed. Definitely backs up my opinion that he's not, the league doesn't see him as a premium edge rusher, right? That's Trey Flowers money. That's Zadarius Smith money. That's not Bosa Mac money. That's a good contract for. I think he could have been replaced, but Bucks can afford it. I did say I predicted that Shaq Barrett would not be the highest paid edge rusher, and I got kind of ridiculed for it. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. I don't know. I don't think Yannick gets more than that, though. The only guy that has a chance is Carl Lawson, and it would be like just a tiny bit more. It'd be, 18.5 a year or something. Yeah, it's true. No state tax. That's such an advantage. Such a good call by Tom Brady. Go to a team with good weather, cap space, a ton of young talent, and no state income tax. It's such a freaking genius move by Tom Brady to get out of New England and go down there. I was gonna talk. Someone was asking me about the Titans. I had that as one of my talking points here. So the tennis, I had a tweet like a week ago that was spicy. I said the Titans are a sneaky candidate to be the worst team in football next year. Let me just back that up for a second. Let me show you guys the Titans depth chart here, because they don't have a ton of cap space. Atomic Gamer just asked, how do you think the Bills have done so far? What should they do? Oh, the Bills are doing such a great job. I saw they've kept 19 out of 22 starters from last year, and 2 of those 3 are restricted free agent guys that they're probably going to tender. So for them to keep all that talent with Darryl Williams, Matt Milano pending, getting those guys back was awesome. Pretty decent contracts for those guys. Cutting John Brown is a thing, but I liked Gabriel Davis in that role, so I think they'll be just fine. Bills are in a really good position. If they can get that year from Josh Allen again and continue to get a little bit of growth there, Bills are definitely a huge threat in the AFC next year. But yeah, the Titans, man. Look at this team. So last year they had one of the worst defenses in the NFL. You get crowd noise back next year, that'll help. But the front 7 is not good. I love Jeffrey Simmons, but other than that, you have nobody on the interior. Daquan Jones is a free agent, by the way, who can play. They have nobody else other than Jeffrey Simmons. And then Harold Landry's like a good high-end number 2, but then they have nobody beyond him. Clowney's out of there. Their defensive line sucks, right? Like, that's a bad defensive line. You don't have a number 1 at all. And then you're losing Jayon Brown, who's a sneaky good player. He's their cover linebacker. They're going to probably have to lean on David Long to be their cover linebacker, because Rashaan Evans is not good in coverage. He's kind of that spy, like, run defending spy blitzing linebacker. He's not a good cover linebacker. And then in the secondary, they cut Malcolm Butler. We didn't even talk about the receiving weapons, but we're still focused on the defense. They cut Malcolm Butler and Kenny Vaccaro, who are replaceable players, but they're starting caliber guys you got to replace. Now, I think Hooker and Cruikshank, Byard, it's a good safety room, so I'm not really worried about that. But you're leaning Desmond King's free agent. You're leaning on Adoree Jackson and Christian Fulton to step up, find someone in the slot. Like, the defense is a mess. And they're losing, and then you go to the offensive side of the ball, which was the only reason they were any good last year. They're losing their offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith, who was awesome. And then, like, you have Ryan Tannehill, who's exactly the 16th best quarterback in the NFL, more or less. Derrick Henry, great. And then you're losing Corey Davis and Jonnu Smith, who were huge parts of the passing game. Your first-round pick, Isaiah Wilson, is a total bust. The offensive line is getting older. Ben Jones and Saffold. Like, they could have a bottom half offense next year and a bottom 5 defense. If a couple things don't go their way, like, they could be one of the worst teams in the NFL. So, especially if Tannehill regresses with less help around him. They're a sneaky option to not be very good. My mom's dog is snoring right now, so if it's really loud, let me know and I'll kick her out. Greta, you're snoring. Knock it off. From Alex Tracy, do I believe Kevin Zeitler will be the biggest free agent signing for the Ravens? How much money do the Ravens have here? Let's see. Ooh, I almost just spilled my coffee on my keyboard. Didn't buy that insurance. That would have sucked. I just got a nice new Logitech gaming keyboard. Check this thing out. Sick. It's dope. Lights up and all. Would have sucked to get coffee on that thing, though. Good thing I got the reflexes of a cat. Okay, Ravens cap space. Or over the cap. All right. So they had 20 million. That's before Zeitler, I imagine. Oops, sorry about that. That's before Zeitler. So Zeitler's going to be like 6. I think they could squeeze in like a Robinson trade or a Galladay signing, a Will. Well, I probably wouldn't go Will Fuller because you already got Marquise Brown, a Corey Davis. I think they could squeeze that in. I don't think they'll pay up in the edge market. I also wouldn't be surprised if they bring Judon back. I could see Judon potentially not getting the biggest bids and then coming back for kind of a team-friendly deal that lets him hit free agency again soon while he's still in his prime. From Brady, surprise pickup for the Giants in free agency. I do think if they spend anywhere, it's going to be receiver or potentially like a Hassan Reddick or like a pass rusher to be kind of that hybrid outside linebacker. But Giants like don't have a ton of cap space. It tends to happen when you give Leonard Williams $20 million. All right, so not a whole lot of news so far. Let's go back to my talking points. We did Aaron Jones earlier. How about Cam Newton going back to New England? I kind of like what New England's doing. It's not a very committal deal. If the opportunity presents itself to upgrade, they will. But it allows them to say, we have a quarterback. You hope that year 2 with that team stays healthy, doesn't get COVID, get him a playmaker, make the defense go back to elite, and they could win 10, 11 games next year pretty easily with Cam Newton. Now, are they going to win a Super Bowl with Cam? I don't know. I don't find it very likely. It's definitely possible if they get like an elite Bill Belichick coaching year for the defense, but it's definitely a good baseline move, and it was a 1-year basically free contract. Cardinals re-sign Marcus Golden. We have 11 mil in cap. Who should we sign? I would say either Will Fuller or Corey Linsley for the Cardinals would be kind of a great missing piece for them. Do you think the Bengals do anything big today? Bengals need to sign an offensive lineman. There's a ton of linemen in this group. Come out of here with a guard, a right tackle, something. Just if they can sign one offensive lineman that's like a quality starter, I think they can pretty quickly improve that offensive line. But do I think they do it? I don't know. They're a pretty bad front office. I'm hard on the Packers, but the Bengals are like consistently just not a good front office. They just don't really know what they're doing. Slow news day. Nothing pouring in so far. What else did I have in my talking points? So yeah, like we talked about Cam Newton. I like what they're doing. Ooh, Jags re-signed Tyler Shatley. Big news. I hadn't talked much about the Kevin Zeitler signing to the Ravens. I think it was just a 10 out of 10 A+ signing. Doesn't impact their compensatory pick formula, which is nice for them. They got Ngakoue and Judon hitting the market. So that's kind of their formula, is let guys go and draft well in the mid rounds. So that's definitely a plus. Huge need there, right guard. They were trying all year to figure out a right guard, and they couldn't do it. So, I mean, he's a great scheme fit. Can do some power running like they like to do. Veteran, he's going to step in. You know, he's comfortable in cold weather, tough football. It's just A+ signing for the Ravens. That was right out the gate, them just doing what they do best. I think that was my number one need for the Ravens, was an offensive lineman, especially on the interior there. We got a couple more super chats here. Where'd they go? There we go. Who do I think are realistic signings for the Panthers? I think they're pretty content to let the defense kind of develop. I would say a veteran corner is something they definitely could sign. So there's actually a long list of available veteran corners. So you name it, whether it's Casey Hayward or Desmond Trufant, you name it, any kind of experienced veteran corner. So keep an eye on that. Maybe a safety. I would say secondary. There's a bunch of good safeties, like a Ricardo Allen could make sense there as a free safety. And then on the offense, maybe a guard. But I think they're probably not going to be too crazy here in free agency. Other than, I think, some good value signings for some veterans. So I would say a guard, corner, safety would be a good move for them. There you go, Atomic Gamer. Barrett's cap hit is under $6 million for this year. So the Bucks might not be done. That's insane. I totally called that. I said it was going to be front-loaded. Guarantees kind of on the back end. Maybe some void years in there. Pat Elflein to the Panthers for 3 years, $13 million. Are you serious? Oh my God, what an over. What are you... Oh, that's the first move Carolina's done in the new regime where I'm like, what? I got a tweet. He's so bad, dude. That's awful. I was just talking about them signing a guard. I did not talk about overpaying for a garbage man at guard. Yikes. Yikes. I have no idea what the hell they're thinking there. I mean, he's not even better than... He's not better than anyone they have. Oh, I guess John Miller, but John Miller's better than him. I guess he is, jeez. I mean, Dennis Daly is right there with him. Reed and Miller were definitely better than, and Schofield are all better than Elflein, but that's who you go with in a year where there's so many guards available, and you're gonna blow your load like that on. It's not even like blowing your load, but God, I mean, I'd rather roll the dice with like a, freaking Forrest Lamp on a league minimum contract. That's yikes. I mean, I'm sure it's not full of guarantees. I'm sure they can get out of it after 1 year, but it's the fact that you're leaning on that guy to be a starter probably is just awful. That's more of the issue. Stream gang, what's up? Pat, keep this in mind, guys. Pat Elflein couldn't start at guard for, I think he ended up on the Bengals last year. He couldn't start at guard for the Vikings. I want to say the Bengals, and he couldn't start for, I mean, he did start for the Jets, but I think he was on the Bengals like in, I guess we can, I don't know if I'm supposed to show PFF stuff, but screw it. I'm like reaching around my microphone. Let's see. Did he play for the Bengals last year? No. From Minnesota, the Jets. Yikes, though. Bobby, thank you. Very generous. You guys are awesome. I feel like I missed a comment in there, though. So let me make sure I'm all caught up. Got to answer all my super chats. What's the chance Trey Lance falls to the Broncos at 9? I think there's a 50-50 chance. Trey Lance is going to be an acquired taste. So I went in yesterday, guys, to try and make a decision on QB3. And when I went in to watch Trey Lance, based on kind of like the hype for him, I fully expected to see something that I was missing and be like, okay, Trey Lance is QB3. That's not what happened. There's so much to work on there, both from the processing and the technique is just not that good. And it's just a risk. I mean, he just doesn't have a lot of reps. There's so much risk involved with Trey Lance. And then I went in like, okay, I guess Fields is QB3. And I rewatched Fields' first game of the year and the Clemson game, which everyone says the game against Clemson is like this amazing game. And he made some amazing throws, but his guys are just screaming wide open deep, and he's just hammering first reads down the field, which is great. I know he's a strong arm. I know he's accurate. So it doesn't answer anything. I can't freaking... It's just both those guys are so risky. Anyway, that's not what the question was, but I'd say there's a decent chance Trey Lance is there at 9. From Bobby, love the way you scout and eval. So if you don't mind, draft question: when scouting wide receivers for the ability for catching traffic, what exactly am I looking for? I would say it's a combination of actually pulling off catches in traffic, which is obviously important. You want to see that on tape. But it's also, there's a technical aspect of it. Do you run through hand fighting, whether it's at the line of scrimmage or at the catch point? Do you do subtle push-offs? And then there's the obvious physical ability. Are you thick? Like, if you're a big dude, if you're DK Metcalf, little contact like that just naturally isn't going to phase you, as opposed to being... I almost said Devontae Smith, but Devontae Smith does all those other little things to compensate. But a physical ability, whether it's leaping ability, arm length, just strength, and like ability to brush. So it's a combination of knowing the subtle little things, physical ability, and then also actually pulling it off and doing it. Like Devontae Smith doesn't have the physical ability. I don't think he's an elite vertical leaper, and he's very slender, but he's incredible at tracking the ball, which is another part of it. So there's a lot that goes into it. And then we got a couple more questions from EM Baller. I don't see the Dolphins spending big in free agency like they did last offseason. What are some good options in free agency for the Dolphins? Any offensive lineman, end sentence, I would say. And then at receiver, it's kind of tough because I like Devontae Parker. Typically, you would put like a true deep threat opposite of him, but with Tua, I don't think you're... Greta, stop snoring. Greta, wake up. Greta, you're snoring, big girl. You guys want to see Greta? That's big Greta. Teddy's over there. Teddy. Oh my god, he's just not having it. We'll get Teddy on later. Ugh. Dog sitting this week. My parents' place. But yeah, I would go offensive line for Miami. And then receiver, like... What is this about Bud Dupree? Oh, nothing. I would say go get like a Will Fuller, a true deep threat, but Tua is just not... doesn't command the football, so I don't think Will Fuller is going to be great for them. I don't mind their combination of kind of gimmick players, and I also think it's deep in the draft, so I wouldn't really go with like a Curtis Samuel type. So is it worth paying... I don't even know, like, is it worth paying Kenny Golladay, who's kind of redundant with Parker? I just don't know if receiver is where I would go in free agency for Miami, even though Dolphins fans would love that. And not that it would be a bad move, but I don't know if that's the best use of resources and if it would, like, contribute to a whole lot. I would just say go offensive line. And then, do I have an opinion on the McKinney trade? Another Dolphins question. Yeah, I like the trade for the Texans. That's one of my talking points, actually, which if we don't get any news here, I can definitely talk about the Texans here. But for Miami, it was another sort of head-scratching move for Miami. Like, I don't hate anything that they do. There's just very little things that Miami does where I'm like, yes, great move, Miami. It's just a bunch of compounded moves of, like, pros and cons. that just doesn't get me all that excited. Like, drafting Tua was just kind of like meh for me. The lineman that they picked last year was very meh for me. The free agents that they signed that clearly didn't work out for them. They let Van Noy go. They let Shaq Lawson, trade him away. They were rumored to want to be the only team that wanted to pay Aaron Jones. That they dodged a bullet there. Thank God for Brian Gutekunst being a fucking moron. Because Dolphins definitely benefited there, not paying Aaron Jones a bunch of money. But with the McKinney trade, they are creating... The reason I don't like it is they are creating one need by addressing another. And I would argue they are creating a need at a position that's harder to get by addressing a need that's much easier to get. The role that, like, McKinney is going to be awesome there. Don't get me wrong. I love how he fits in that scheme. He's going to think like Dante Hightower. He's going to blitz a ton. He's going to play run defense, QB spy. Like, he is exactly what they wanted. Like, I don't hate the move for Miami, but you're taking on a cap penalty and creating a problem at defensive end. Well, they got some depth there. Maybe Zach Filer or Filer? Zach Seat. What's his name? He had a good season last year. Zach Seiler. Maybe he steps up as a starter. You got Strobridge, who you drafted last year. Raekwon Davis can do a little bit of that stuff. But you're just creating a need at this defensive end spot that was really valuable for them by adding a kind of run-stuffing linebacker who will be great for their scheme, but I think you could have gotten McKinney without taking on a bunch of dead cap and giving up a quality starter that you signed in free agency just last year. It's I don't like hate the move. It's just another thing that Miami's doing where just I don't get excited about like anything that they do. Jamal Williams said he's gone. Hey, I don't think Jamal's going to have much of a market. Jamal could come back for a league minimum contract. I don't see Jamal getting a ton of money. I don't think he should be so confident that he won't be able to come back. You can draft 6 Jamal Williams in the 6th round of this draft. So I don't know if there's going to be a team stupid enough to pay up for a Jamal Williams. From Atomic Gamer, coming in clutch with these super chats. You my dude, Atomic Gamer. I may be a Buffalo fan, but I've watched every AFC team's game so far from this past season. Tua was not my choice for the Fins. He looks scared in the pocket. You had Herbert ranked over Tua. Good call on Herbert. As much as I didn't like Tua, I still liked him more than Herbert. And, yeah, man, I'm just losing a lot of steam. If I had any steam on Tua, I'm losing a lot of it. When you hear these receivers kind of throw them under the bus, so first off, the Dolphins players themselves opened up about how they wanted Fitzpatrick in there, how Tua doesn't have an it factor. They didn't feel good with Tua in there at quarterback. He gets benched against the worst defense in the NFL, the Raiders. Yikes. That's the biggest red flag out of all this stuff. And then the Bama receivers are saying Mac Jones, who it's not like, Mac Jones is Trevor Lawrence, right? Or Justin Fields. Like, obviously, former Georgia players are going to be like, yeah, Justin Fields was better than Jake Fromm. But it's not like Mac Jones is the subjectively better player than Tua. Yet, when Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle were asked who's the better quarterback, the correct answer there is, we love them both. They're both great leaders. I love both of their competitiveness. I'll take either of them, right? But immediately they were like, oh, Mac Jones, easily. Like, there's some pretty massive freaking red flags there with Tua, and I'm losing a lot of steam. I hope he proves me wrong, but I just don't see it, man. I think he's just like a backup, like a, Alex Smith type. Panda, check my quote tweet. It's about your donation. You came in with a donation, Panda. Let's see if I can find you. Oh, I'm paying attention, Panda. I got you, brother. What's your question? You're funny though. I swear to God, if it's about Tyree Cleveland being the GOAT, I'm gonna lose my shit, Panda. From Logan. Thank you, Logan. Very generous donation. Appreciate you. If you're the Bears GM, what would you do with Robinson? Yeah, because he's like not happy. He doesn't really want to play on that franchise tag. They're gonna see that thing play out. I'm sure he's getting thrown into trade talks for. I don't know if it would be straight up for Russell Wilson or if they're trading him to a team like Baltimore or something like that. Get a first round pick that you could then maybe offer for Russell Wilson. I know they're going hard for Russ. They're going hard for Deshaun. Like, they are throwing everything they can to get one of those two players. So that's probably the most likely scenario is they get a pick for him, tag and trade situation after the market plays out a little bit, and then they use that pick towards a quarterback trade because I know that that's like all they're focusing on right now. If you can't trade him, just fucking pay him. Just extend Allen Robinson. Like, he's dope. He's a top 10 receiver. Extend him and give him a quarterback and get him the football. It's not that he's like, I need out of Chicago. He's just saying, I want a long-term contract. He's a guy that has suffered an ACL injury in the past. He knows another one would actually be kind of a rare situation where, you know, not career ending, but could really hurt his long-term fiscal potential. So Panda, it's in the tweet. Okay, I want to get to you, Panda. I haven't forgotten. Atomic Gamer coming in again. Just by watching the game against the Bills with Tua, you could see how Tua couldn't... Oh, I lost it. Couldn't handle the bigger moments. Yeah, he's kind of finicky. Doesn't have, you know, a ton of that it factor. Now, he had some moments. There was at the Cardinals. He had that scramble against the Cardinals. It was like, all right, that was pretty sick. Like, that was a play. But... yeah, he's just not someone I'm confident in the pocket. And he doesn't command the football all that well. He's got a decent arm. He's relatively accurate, but it's not like, you know, he's uncorking dimes down the field. Okay, Panda, we gotta find your question here. MD Andrews. Let me see if I can find oh, it's right there. Gotcha. What is the best case scenario for the Seahawks this offseason? A, you don't trade Russell Wilson. B, I would say you sign an offensive lineman, whether it's Lindsley or, you know, I don't know. Maybe even like Kyle Long would be a good signing for them. I would say get just another piece on the offensive line. I don't think their offensive line is like so bad. I think Russ might be overreacting a little bit. Like, I think Russ could be doing some things, to be honest. And the scheme could be doing a lot better things to make the offensive line look better than it is. It's not a great offensive line, but they've addressed it enough to the point that it's not bottom 10 like it was for a couple of years there. So maybe add an offensive lineman. And then the defense needs help, man. The defense needs a pass rusher. I could see them bringing Jadeveon Clowney back for really cheap, which would be a good move. They need to get one of these corners. The corner group and the edge group is brutal, and that is the foundation of the cover 3 Seattle defense. So those are the three things I would say. Offensive lineman, get a corner, maybe Casey Hayward. I don't know if he's quite good enough in press. Maybe you can get Shaq Griffin back, something like that, and then you draft a press corner, maybe an Ifeatu Melifonwu in the second, third round, something like that, to patch up the secondary. But yeah, man, the Seahawks have a lot of work to do this offseason. All right, we have how many drink? Actually, don't drink because you will die. But TFG drinking game, drink every time I say all right. That's like my go-to transition. Anyway, we got more super chats coming in. You guys are freaking awesome, man. This is outstanding. Shout out to my parents' internet for not shitting the bed too. Okay, from MD Andrews, longtime lurker, finally caught a live stream. Let's go. If the Cowboys swing for a big free agent name, would you prefer Tomlinson or Griffin? Definitely Griffin. I wouldn't pay a dime for... I mean, I would pay Dalvin Tomlinson, but I wouldn't pay him more than like $4 or $5 million a year. So that wouldn't really be a big swing. You can find run-stuffing D tackles. I've always held that. Dennis Gardeck, he did some things. 93 reps. 7 sacks and 93 reps. God, that's awesome. He's he's like a Kyler Fackrell type of rotational piece there. That's a good re-signing. He can be the, they clearly don't value what's his name that everyone's talking about, Reddick. But I think Shaq Griffin for Dallas would be an outstanding signing, and this market is a lot of corners. I think you could get him for kind of a budget. He's an upgrade to Awuzie, I think. So I would say go get Shaq Griffin if you're Dallas. That's their biggest need. You get Shaq Griffin, and then all of a sudden corner at 9. You're not like locked into necessarily going corner. Maybe you could beef up the O-line or get a Kyle Pitts or something in the draft. But that corner spot, like Trayvon Diggs is your only guy right now. Not ideal. Okay, from Alan Diggs, what edge do I like best for the Bills in the draft? I think Ojulari is the most realistic. If they could get their hands on Kwity Paye, that'd be pretty nice. Also, if they want to roll the dice on Jalen Phillips, he would be a stud there. It's just a matter of like what happens with the concussion stuff there. I think Ojulari would make a lot of sense. My comp for Ojulari is Jerry Hughes, so you're getting a young Jerry Hughes. I've soured a little bit on Joseph Asai. Asai is now down to, I think Osai is now edge 5. I'm gonna have to redo the edge video. I think I've moved those guys around a little bit. Let's see, any more super chats from Brandon? Thoughts on the Lions paying Akwara? Yeah, we hit on that right out the gate, but I think it's a great signing. I would say if you can rewind, we talked about Detroit and Dan Campbell and some of the nice things they're doing pretty much right away. I mean, that was one of the first pieces. I would say probably 10 minutes into the stream, but I like that signing. Very good signing. Jets, Vikings, Browns have all shown interest in Trey Hendrickson. That makes a ton of sense for all those teams. If he's cheap, which I think he will be, he'd probably be under $10 million. I bet he might be one of these free agents that gets, this is just kind of my prediction, kind of with the salary cap in the way it is, a guy that gets maybe a 2-year, $18 million contract, maybe some incentives in there. So, get him in, kind of prove it contract, and any of those three teams, that'd be a great ad to get Trey Hendrickson, because he's a quality number 2 rusher, and all three of those teams, well, the Vikings and Browns have really nice number 1 edge rushers, and then for the Jets, he would be their number 2, but they have cap space, and then they have a good starter in there, and then maybe they find a number 1 later. Some more super chats. I'm sorry if you guys have just been awesome. If I miss any super chats, I deeply apologize. I'm trying to catch them all. 2 things you missed. My question about, you missed, well, there you go. I was just talking about missing questions. You missed my question about Judon to Atlanta. If we ran a 3-4, what do you think? Just worded a little weird. Okay. So yeah, if Atlanta's running a 3-4, Matt Judon would be a nice complementary piece. I think him and Dante Fowler would have a nice kind of thunder and lightning approach. They need edge, so I think that would be a good spot for Atlanta. It also kind of eliminates the potential of them reaching for Gregory Rousseau like really early, which in the back of my mind is something that I've been kind of like, I like Gregory Rousseau, but if they were to kind of reach on him at 4 because he's like their type or whatever, I wouldn't be too excited about that. And then Clowney would also be a great fit. I think Clowney signs another 1-year deal, probably about $12 million. Health is becoming a concern for him, let alone the fact that he's never been a true number 1. From Josh, what are my thoughts on Malcolm Kuntz? So Buffalo edge rusher Malcolm Kuntz. He's an explosive dude, kind of a finesse rusher, got some bend. I just finished his eval. Might as well take this moment to plug, guys. If you have any questions about any draft prospect, I have been making really good progress. I think I have probably about 200 to 250 evals done. So if you have any questions about any prospect, guys like Malcolm Kuntz, who most people aren't going to be talking about, it's all up on my Patreon. You can get access to the full TFG Draft Insider package. So I've got a bunch of film rooms up there. Film Room Friday, we do 2 prospect film breakdowns a week. And then also my comprehensive draft board is available. So that is going to be patreon.com/ThatFranchiseGuy. So encourage you to check that out for all the draft stuff. You can also submit questions to the mailbag for the Fully Inflated Football Podcast. Okay, from Ty, if the Cowboys go after someone like Griffin, do I think they would make a play on one of the free agent safeties and pick Slater in the draft? Yeah, I think they could swing that. You get like a Ricardo Allen, who should be pretty cheap, LaMarcus Joyner, something like that, put him back at safety. And then, yeah, I think, Slater in the draft with the Dak Prescott extension all of a sudden makes some sense, because I don't think Tyron Smith is long for the Dallas Cowboys. He's got length, but I don't think he's long. Oh, my God. Elfline has been a less than 0 wins above replacement for his career. So he actively hurts his team's likelihood to win, basically, is what's that saying. And the Panthers just made him one of the first free agents off the board. From Ben Blau, longtime fan, appreciate you, Ben. Can't wait for the next rebuild. Yes, that will be next Madden rebuild on the main channel will be after the draft, after I'm able to get the roster done. But that said, one second, while I'm plugging, I might as well remind you guys, I do, if you enjoy the live TFG that we got going on right now, and you enjoy my Madden content, don't forget to subscribe to my secondary channel. This TFG Plays. We have done a ton of great rebuilds and Madden live streams, twitch.tv/ThatFranchiseGuy. So there's lots of great stuff there. But your question was, I just used you as an opportunity to self-promote, Ben, so thank you. Which top free agent wide receiver do I think would be the best scheme fit for the Jets? I think Mims is a good number 2, will have a good chemistry with Zach Wilson. You need like a true, it's not even so much scheme fit, although they are going to be running the Shanahan system. So you definitely want to run after the catch guy. I would say, Kenny Golladay could definitely work there. If they could get their hands on Allen Robinson, like if they gave up the Seahawks pick for Allen Robinson, I would really like that for them. They don't need a slot guy. I've been rewatching the Bills season, and that first game against the Jets, Crowder is good, dude. People are sleeping on Jamison Crowder. Like, they are set at slot wide receiver. He's on a valuable contract. He's one of the best slot receivers in the NFL. So they're good there. I believe in Denzel Mims, as hard as I was on the draft last year, as a number 2 to develop. But if they could go get a proven, like, Allen Robinson, Golladay wouldn't be bad. Corey Davis would work really well. He's familiar with that scheme, too. That's a name that I probably should have mentioned if you don't trade for Allen Robinson. Refresh. Let's see. All right. I called that. Someone asked early on who's likely to go to the Patriots. I think I said Jonnu was the first name I said. So that makes a ton of sense. Wow, I like that move a lot. Who in the chat listened to the Fully Inflated Football podcast last week? Because I was kind of praising New England. I'm just curious how much I should be reiterating this take, but the reason this is so great, because you brought Cam Newton back, right? And I'm sorry if you're a huge Cam Newton truther. Malik's comment's funny.
I'm sorry if you're a huge Cam Newton truther and you think he's going to be back to his MVP form, but it's just never going to happen. That doesn't mean I hate the signing or that, like I said earlier in the stream, that they can't be a good playoff team. Jonnu Smith, under the radar, if you didn't know this, I would say he is a top 10 run after catch receiver in the NFL. I know he plays tight end, but you're putting, A.J. Brown on his team. There's some other guys. Jamar Chase will be in there. There's a bunch of really good receivers run after the catch. Tyreek Hill. And then at his position, George Kittle. Jonnu Smith is, if you just get him 3 steps to get moving, he is one of the hardest players to tackle in the NFL. I'm gonna go back to PFF and see how many broken tackles. I bet Jonnu Smith or missed tackles among tight ends he had. Let's see. How do I... Interesting. Is he not on here? Or am I just not seeing him? That's surprising. I'm surprised he's not... Am I just not seeing him? Okay, he's down here, 24th. That's fascinating. Maybe it's just because he runs through so much. Maybe it's because he runs through so many tackles, but he eventually does get tackled that it's not counting as a missed tackle. What about yards after catch? That's yards per route run. PFF added a bunch of really good stats. Let's see if we go to 20% of targets. There you go. He's 8th in yak per reception. So that backs it up a little bit more. Anyway, you re-sign him with this. I just noticed the screen was too small. You guys couldn't even see. But you put him there with Cam Newton, who, like I said, is not going to open up the passing game. Cam Newton's your quarterback. You guys know the passing chart. You know what? I'm just gonna keep using PFF because this is just too nice. If I get in trouble, then so be it. But we're gonna look at Cam Newton's shot chart here. Where's the passing? I guess passing depth. They changed the name of this. Can you guys see? I guess that's off the screen. Let's grab this and put it. Bear with me here. Here, let's do this. Worth it? It's gonna be worth it. Okay. Here's his shot chart. Look how few times he's going 20 plus yards. He threw the ball 29 times over 20 yards last year. You want to compare that to... Let's compare it to... not like an elite deep passer, but let's compare that to, say, Kirk Cousins. He threw it 29 times just going right. He threw it 2 times more often deep. So... Cam Newton is not throwing the ball around the yard, right? You got to throw that thing short. I'm just putting this thing back in position. Don't mind the trippiness. There's 20 me's, I know. Marcusception, that's right. So you put him with Jonnu Smith, who is this outstanding run after the catch weapon. Get him the ball quickly. Go get a first down, right? The pardon my French, kids, stop listening. But the Barry McConaughey or Barry McCockiner, go get the first down, you stupid bitch. That's Jonnu Smith. I'm not calling Jonnu Smith a stupid bitch. I'm quoting humor, so don't freak out. But that's Jonnu Smith. Move the chains, get first downs, short to intermediate passing game. outstanding signing for New England. Now it was, what, $12 million a year? Also, as a Jonnu Smith Dynasty owner, I am very happy. And now they have just signed Davin Godshot to a 2-year... It's a little steep for a run defender, but he's one of the better ones. Knows the system, so another good signing. That's probably the only weakness left in that defense. God, New England's gonna be dope next year. I'm buying into the New England hype train. They're going for it this year. They're doing a great job. All right. Do we have any more? No super chats to get to, so you guys are free to ask me anything. I will. I don't think we got any news. Steelers are interested in re-signing some of their guys. That's fine. Do I think the Eagles can afford Malik Hooker? Potentially. I'm still waiting on Malik Hooker to sign with Seattle. Is this the day that take from basically the moment the Colts drafted Julian Blackmon? I said that Malik Hooker was going to go to the Seahawks. Is this the day that take finally comes true? We'll see. Any thoughts on the Bengals free agent cornerback William Jackson? He's a stud. I think he's going to be one of the corners that gets a lot of money. He's a great example of why the Packers should not have paid Aaron Jones. Because if they signed William Jackson, and if they gave the money they gave to Aaron Jones to William Jackson, the Packers, to me, are possibly Super Bowl favorites next year. Instead, their Super Bowl probability probably went down by giving the money to Aaron Jones. But William Jackson is, if not a low-end number 1, a high-end number 2. And he can play in pretty much any system. He's lengthy, quick, can run man coverage. He's smart, can play zone. He's just a good do-it-all. He's kind of like Byron Jones. Is kind of a good comp for him. Hang on. J.R. Ball needs to chill. I don't know what the... Okay, he relaxed. Okay, he is not relaxed. Baller, you're getting put in timeout. No one cares about basketball. What are my thoughts on the Ravens signing Zeitler? Talked about it earlier, but overall, outstanding signing. What's more likely to be re-signed in Dallas, Jordan Lewis or Chidobe Awuzie? Probably Awuzie because they have Anthony Brown in the slot, who I think they probably like. I mean, they've spent a lot of time starting Anthony Brown over Jordan Lewis, so for a team that's been pretty cap strung, I don't see them paying a second slot corner when they already have one. Okay, I wanted to go to my talking points. I do have Kevin Zeitler on my list of talking points. Someone was just asking about that. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but just a great signing for Baltimore. Even if they don't sign anyone else, I think that offensive line, they got to figure out the frickin' the Orlando Brown situation. Like, would Ronnie Stanley just, now that he's been paid, would Ronnie Stanley be like, I don't care, I'll play right tackle, it doesn't matter to me? Could you just, like, if Orlando Brown is so dead set on being a left tackle, which is like the dumbest I'm not seeing anything. But anyway, sorry, I think I lost connection there for a second, but looks like we're good. But yeah, Orlando Brown, that's like the dumbest freaking thing I've ever seen. Like, oh, I don't really care, like, I know I'm worth a lot of money, but I want to be a left tackle. Why? Who the hell cares, dude? I get you had a promise to your dad, which that's cool, but you're going to screw over an entire organization who's like ready to win a Super Bowl because you made a dumb promise to your dad. Like, I'm sorry about your dad. That's tragic. But what? So they got to figure that situation out because he's a big piece for that team. He's a phenomenal run blocker. So I don't know if Ronnie Stanley, who already got paid, would be like, look, I don't really care. I'll play right tackle. It doesn't matter to me. You're already paying me money. I'll play whatever position you want, which is what 99% of athletes say. So, you know, if it's about the money, if Orlando Brown came out and said, I want left tackle money, that's perfectly fine. And the Ravens might give him left tackle money. But he didn't. He said, I made a promise to my dad that I would be a left tackle in the NFL. Like, that, you know, he could easily get left tackle money if he asked for it. Oh my God. What the hell is happening? What the hell is happening? I don't understand. I was like ready to like the Panthers. Hang on. I love the live tweeting effect of the stream. So it's not that like that's a crippling. It's not like that's going to cripple their franchise, right? That's not paying. Back when they gave Ryan Khalil like a 5-year contract, that's not the Lions giving $50 million to Haloti Vaitai. It's not like they can't get out of that. The problem is when you make these little subtle free agent signings, that is your plan. It's the opportunity cost is really the problem here. Not so much the financials. These guys will be cut next year. They won't be on the team because they're going to suck because they suck at football. But, you know, they'll get out of this. They'll have an opportunity in a year to make up for this. But that's their plan. Those guys will be starting. Ugh, that's disgusting. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they work out, but that's just bad process. Those are not good football teams. Or good football players. So that's brutal. I was really excited for the Panthers offseason. I think I said on a podcast that they, to me, are the most interesting team. And yikes, they're making the Packers look competent right now. Wow. That's brutal, dude. That is brutal. Teddy Bridgewater's going to be running for his life. And, like, you think Trey Lance is going to step in there and develop in that situation? Yikes. Pat Elflein isn't bad. Pat Elflein is terrible. He literally has a negative wins above replacement in his career. He is a worse than replacement level starter over the course of his career on 2 different teams. He is a bad football. I live in Minnesota. I know that Pat Elflein is a fucking miserable football player. He is quite possibly was the worst player to get significant starting playing time last season. Him and, ironically, 2 former Minnesota Vikings, him and Andrew Sendejo were fighting it out. Okay, Tom. I was reading that tweet from Tom Palacello there. Teams have expressed interest in Vikings free agent Brett Jones. Be a decent signing for Green Bay, who doesn't have a starting center right now. Fuck you, Bayern Gutekunst. But beyond that, not seeing a whole lot. Let's see. Do I have any other talking points here? We talked about the Titans being... We've kind of hit on everything, to be honest. Oh, we haven't gone back to the Houston Texans yet. That's the last talking point I have on my list. So I'm kind of liking what the Texans are doing in a very sneaky way. Not that I'm excited about them or anything, but they... Basically, the Texans need to show competency. Sorry, I put my eye on the chat, and it's hard not to get distracted. But the Texans need to show any level of competency to appeal to Deshaun Watson and be like, hey, look, the new GM, he's in control, he's going to make good things, Easterby or whatever, he's not going to let this thing get worse. They need to show that like they are competent of like building a roster. And beyond that, they need to show that like not every player in the league either doesn't want to play for Houston or wants out. So they went out and acquired some guys, and they got good locker room dudes that are going to be happy to be there. Mark Ingram and Kirksey, who are not great players. I think Kirksey will start. I actually kind of liked that move we'll talk about Lawson in a second, but Kirksey can replace Benargic McKinney. He's not an upgrade or anything, but he can replace that role. He'll be valiant in that role. It's not like he's your number one linebacker like with Green Bay he was last year. Because you have you guys, two people have now said Lindsley to Cincinnati, and I'm getting excited for Joe Burrow's sake, but I'm not seeing anything yet. Anyway, lost my train of thought. Chat, you guys are throwing me off. But they've made some subtle moves to get better as a football team and show that we can do this. I loved the Marcus Cannon trade for them, because now you can slide Titus Howard. Yeah, he can slide into guard. Justin Britt can kind of play. He's honestly, him and Nick Martin, it's kind of a push. Their offensive line, their offense in general, it's not bad. Everyone says they have nothing. The Texans have nobody. What are you talking about? They got nobody. They got Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb, Kiki Kuti, tight ends that can like contribute. Like, yeah, it's not ideal, but there's way worse receiving cores in the NFL. And the offensive line, now that they added, did I say Solder? I meant Marcus Cannon. You added Marcus Cannon, who's a capable right tackle. Tunsil's like in the conversation for the best left tackle. And then you have a decent interior group. Like, the offense is not that bad. They've now upgraded on the defense. I like how Shaq Lawson fits into this defense. Like, they have some pieces. They're getting better on the defense. It's not going to be a good defense. They're not going to win a Super Bowl next year, but showing some competency, showing Watson that it's not all bad. There's greener horizons ahead. That's all they need to start doing. And you guys kind of know my opinions on this idea that the Texans, they have to trade Watson just because he wants to get traded. I'm not seeing Corley Lindsley to the Bengals like you guys keep saying. That would be such a good move for the Bengals. I think Thuney would probably be better for the Bengals, just because if the Bengals have anyone on the O-line, on the interior that's decent, it's Trey Hopkins, who's not ideal. You could certainly upgrade it. It would be a huge upgrade to get first-team All-Pro Corey Linsley, who's familiar with this scheme run by Zach Taylor, so would be awesome. I would say it'd be even better if you could get Joe Thuney, but I mean, that'd be outstanding. I'm gonna have to. I might have to clip the. Clip the Patriots reaction and put that up on YouTube from this this stream, because that was a good coverage of those. I'm not gonna quote tweet that. I'm just gonna. Respond. Just gonna be nice for a second. We do have a super chat. I feel like I missed some super chats, so I'm sorry guys. I'm trying to scroll back up. If I missed you, I apologize. You guys are so generous with these super chats. But anyway, from Ryan, do you think the Giants are a true blue blood franchise? I'm a Giants fan, but I feel like it's kind of fluky. What do you mean by blue blood? Like an elite, historic, always do the right thing franchise, like a Steelers, New England type of culture? If that's the case, no, I don't think so. I think they're a good, historically well-run franchise. I wouldn't say they're like the Steelers or the Ravens, though. And then from Hussey's Huddle, what do I think of the Bills re-signing Williams and Milano? I was glowing about it earlier. I think that was huge for them. I mean, those were, if you let them go, they become huge needs. And they're basically getting the band back together. I think they are in really good shape for next year. Prime position in the AFC, getting those guys back. And they were both pretty good contracts, so. Blue blood means it sucks. I don't really know what that term means. God, I can't believe they gave $8 million guaranteed to Cam Irving. What the hell are they doing? Someone did a super chat with some sort of Asian currency, and I missed the question, and I'm trying to find it and I can't. So if whoever that was that came in with, I don't know if it was yen or, yeah, I'm not up to date on my Chinese currency, but whoever that was, I'm trying to find you in the chat, and I missed your question, so I apologize. I wasn't trying to ignore you. I was just probably going on some rant, and then I forgot. But I think he dipped out. I must have pissed him off. He's like, I gave this guy money and he didn't answer my question. What a dick. All right, we get any more news? And I am cold. It is snowing here in Minneapolis today, guys. People are saying the Jonnu Smith signing was an overpay. Jonnu Smith is a baller. He was just the third target on that offense. Yes, Hayden, I talked about the Jonnu signing. I think I got to clip the Patriots kind of spiel, because I am very excited about the Patriots for next year. From Matthew, what should the Steelers' priority be with free agency? The problem with the Steelers is they don't have any freaking money. I know they want to keep Joe Hayden. I think that kind of makes sense, but at the same time, they could probably get cheaper. There's a lot of veterans. I gotta hold that thought, because Jae-Hong Park was who commented, and he just came back with another donation. I don't even know what currency that is and what 5,000 of it translates to, but even if it's 5 cents, thank you. I appreciate the support from. I'd love for you to update us. Where are you from, my man? And it always blows my mind when we get international viewers, because it's just like, I'm just chilling here talking into a computer, and you're on the other side of the globe listening to me talk about the game I love. It's just super cool. But anyway, thoughts on Michael Davis or Adam Butler to the Packers? Yeah, those would be good. I've actually, this is weird, but this is the kind of things I do. When I was in the shower earlier, I can't even finish this sentence, but I'm going for it. When I was in the shower earlier, I was thinking about Michael Davis on the Packers. He'd be a great scheme fit. Kind of that off-zone corner. He is a true number 2 corner, can totally play. He's going to be dirt cheap. The Packers need a veteran signing at corner, and I think that would be a hell of a signing. And Adam Butler, same thing. He'd be a good complement to Kenny Clark. So, yeah, that's the Packers after they gave Aaron Jones. That's kind of the range of free agent that they're going to have to go for. Brett Jones is another name, like kind of veteran, replacement level, starter, depth pieces. Michael Davis would be a great move for them, though. But I want to go back to that comment about the Steelers. Steelers are so tough because they have a balanced roster and no cap space. Plenty of places they could upgrade. I would say any sort of interior offensive line in general, absolutely, would be a good move for them. But I think their priorities are probably more on like keeping the guys they have. Alejandro, Bud Dupree, Joe Hayden. I think they're more focused inward and towards the draft, because I don't see them getting too splashy. And the Juju's definitely not going back there. Who is Godshaw? And Pats need to draft a QB, right? Davin Godshaw is a really good run defending interior piece. Gap control dude, knows the system. It was a good move for them. They needed a guy like that. Lawrence Guy can't do everything. It's a good signing for New England. Would Juju be a good signing for the Raiders? Honestly, I'm going to say he'd be okay. I don't know if that would be the best use of their money. I would rather them go get a Carl Lawson, who would be great as a guy that can rotate with the other 2 guys you have. He'd be fine. But Juju to me, I don't get that excited about Juju. He's not a great separator. He's just like a tough dude, good after the catch, reliable contested catch guy, but he's not like a vertical threat, really. I just think Juju will probably be a decent signing somewhere. But I don't think, because he's going to get paid a ton of money, and I don't think he has the physical ability to live up to $16, $17 million a year. And the Raiders have weapons. So I don't get crazy about that. Lots of super chats coming in. You guys are awesome, man. I gotta scroll down and find these. Just a hey from Nicholas Hunker. What's up? And just from Fred Zilla, no comment there. From SGJ, where is Mitch Trubisky going? I would love Mitch Trubisky to go to a Shanahan system where he can actually really thrive. Not thrive, but I think Mitch Trubisky to like Tennessee, maybe the Jets. Not the Jets. They're gonna have, but maybe to back up Zach Wilson or something like that. Atlanta, if they don't draft a quarterback, someone that's gonna run the Shanahan offense. I would say San Francisco. I would like that too, but I think Josh Rosen's kind of filling that hole of the developmental piece. But a system that dumbs things down, uses his mobility, schemes up easy first reads, basically or to back up Stafford for the Rams would be a good spot for him. Somewhere where the offensive coordinator can run subliminally through or subconsciously, but do the thinking for the quarterback. That's what I think of when I think of the Shanahan systems. And he could execute that stuff. I think he could have a Tannehill-esque, surprising, kind of look competent sort of deal. But he's just kind of a broken player. He's never going to become as good as Tannehill is, but I think he could be a serviceable player. From Endo from England, cheers, mate. Glad I could catch the stream. Me too. Would you use Gallup as a trade piece in Dallas? Would you use Gallup as a trade piece to get the compensatory? I think you meant or get the compensatory. Is that what you mean? I would let Gallup come back. I would bring him back. Oh wow, is Orlando Brown? We were just ranting about him. That'd be pretty sweet. I'm curious to see what the draft pick. I bet it's. My guess is it'll be for the second round, that first pick in the second round. We'll see if that's real or not. We'll see if that gets confirmed. But I would just bring Gallup back. Dak needs all of the receivers he can get, and he really likes Gallup. He targets Gallup a lot. He's like kind of like his go-to kind of jump ball dude. Who do you think the Colts should try to get? Colts need to bring back some corners. I think Lawson would be awesome for them. Ngakoue could work there too. Come back to the AFC South. I would say a pass rusher, an edge rusher, and a corner would be kind of their top go-tos. Man, I want to go take a leak, but you guys are coming in with the super chats. Dara, hey, from Ireland. Enjoy the frenzy. Dara. I like it. I didn't know that's what y'all say out there. I love Ireland. I'm going there with Anna for our honeymoon. We're doing a Euro trip next summer. Longtime fan from Fredzilla. Broncos fan in Texas. Just want to say thank you for what you do, the Madden community, and also with your football knowledge. You got it, man. Thanks for being a fan. Appreciate you. Opinion on Warren Jackson. I think he has the ceiling of T. Higgins. Yeah, Bojo. I like Warren Jackson. Let me read my. Oh shoot! I gotta close this. Hopefully that didn't delete my scouting from this morning. So again, guys, if you want to prospect, if you want to know my opinions on all these prospects, my draft board is something available on my Patreon, patreon.com/ThatFranchiseGuy. But if you super chat, I will absolutely answer any questions about prospects if I've evaluated them. But I have evaluated Warren Jackson. So Warren Jackson is actually my wide receiver 23, which is pretty good in this class. I have a 3rd to a 4th round grade on him, which shows you how deep this receiver class is. So I'm probably a little higher on Warren Jackson. As far as 6'6" receivers go, I think he can play. You guys know I'm not usually like go get the 6'6" receiver and throw him jump balls, but Warren Jackson, he can scoot a little bit for that big size guy. I could see T. Higgins as a decent comp there. Similar kind of role. But here's my blurb. I wrote a lot about Warren Jackson. Warren Jackson, actually, I just said this. It was in my blurb, so at least I'm consistent. Warren Jackson can actually scoot a little bit and shows solid body control for a towering 6'6" receiver. Usually guys this size take a long time to get started, and even when they reach top speed, it is underwhelming. But Jackson explodes out of his stance and has a real chance to create at least some separation at the next level. It isn't just standout physical traits, however, as he has decent ability to get in and out of his breaks for his size and technique in his routes, particularly on double moves. He has some nice shake on double moves. Like if you can block up for him, he's gonna lose some guys deep on double moves. But it's just a long time. You need like 4 or 5 seconds to set those things up, but he can do that. And he has quality ball skills that he uses his long arms to his utmost advantage. So someone was asking me about how I evaluate contested catches. So obviously a guy like Warren Jackson's going to have a nice baseline because he's so big, but you still need to use your arms well and hand fight and learn how to brush off contact. He's got like thicker arms too. It's not just length. Like if you can be tall, but if you're skinny, you're going to just get brushed off the point of attack for contested catches. That's not Warren Jackson. So I finished by saying it is extremely difficult to get these tree-like receivers to work out due to the inability to separate. But Jackson has a good enough chance to buck that trend to warrant taking a shot on him in the 3rd or 4th round. Jackson opted out of the 2020 season to prepare for the 2021 NFL draft. So he's definitely intriguing. He's definitely on my radar as a good like mid-round flyer on a big receiver. So yeah, it's a good question. Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit. Y'all like this video yet? That's my dude, Jack. Trubisky's talking to the football team. He will not work out for the football team. I'm sorry. But take as many dart throws as you can, I suppose. Raiders fan from Germany. What's up, man? What do you think the ceiling is for the Raiders next season? Ooh. Ceiling? Sorry, I was just reading some tweets. Ceiling for the Raiders. Good God. All right, so let's say they patch up the offensive line a little bit. The pass rush improves. They get another starter in the secondary. Defense becomes top 24. I don't think it'll be anything better than top 15. That defense just they don't have enough bodies. They don't have enough good dudes. And then their offense is like, they'll have a good offense. If they fix the offensive lineup a little bit, they can have a kind of like the 9th best offense. So, 10, 11 wins, maybe win a playoff game, but they're not going to win a Super Bowl next year. Bojo, following up on the Warren Jackson breakdown, I agree. Colorado State has been an undercover wide receiver lately. Yeah, dude, they have been cranking it out. Started with Gallup, Chenault was Colorado, but yeah, Gallup was CSU. They had Preston Williams was Colorado State. That's right. Man, lots of international viewers from India. Avye, what's up, Avye? We got India. We got, I think that was somewhere in Korea, was that question from our dude. From Jaehong. But sweet, man. Got like every country covered. I always find it fun to look at my international splits. It just blows my mind. I think it's only like 70 to 80%. You got Brazil here, Marcos. Lots of Germany. The Germans have been around from I'm sure a lot of you guys from Germany. You guys were showing up early in the TFG days. Like back with like 5,000 subs, I was starting to get a lot of Germany and UK. We got Poland in the house, Turkey. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because you guys probably don't get a lot of like NFL Network or ESPN. Lucky. Like, it's probably why you guys are smarter than half of us Americans when it comes to football, because you don't listen to that garbage shit. But got Argentina in the house. It's so cool. Canada. Connor Lee, yes, we know you're from the UK, Connor. Connor's been around. Connor, I feel like we're getting along better. We're getting along better lately. I feel like we're on good terms. Lots of Canada. Yeah, Ireland, North Korea. Wait, MSEMS. You're from North Korea? MSEMS shows up in the Twitch feed for a while. Nebraska. All right, guys. I'm gonna take a quick, just potty break. I'm not seeing any news. I'm just going to take a quick leak and be right back. I'm gonna put the camera on Teddy. I don't know if you can even see him all that well, but let's see. I'm gonna put him like up. Oh, I didn't even realize Winnie's here too. Too bad I can't. The camera can't reach. These are my dogs. You guys know Teddy. And then that's Winnie on the right. I didn't even realize Winnie was in here. But they're chilling. It's snowing outside. Welcome to, I don't even know how well you guys can see this or hear me right now, but I'm just yelling at air. But yeah, give me just a second. All right, we back. So we got 1,500 people watching right now. This has been an amazing stream. I'm not done. Oh man, don't play with my heart. Don't play with my heart, chat. I swear to God. If you are playing with me right now, you guys are going to break my fucking heart if you guys are playing with me right now. Don't do this to me. I'm going to hit this refresh button. I'm going to cry if you guys are getting me with this. I hate you. I hate you. Wait. What is happening? You guys are just fucking with me. All right. I knew you guys were doing. I hate you guys so much. Insert the Avengers meme. This one. This is what you guys did to me. This one right here. Don't do it to me, man. I hate you so much. I was just about to talk about how much fun I'm having with you guys too, and then you did that to me. I can't believe it, man. Unbelievable. I hate you. Every single one of you. But no, man, this has been awesome. I'm not ending the stream by any means. I am starting to get that, you know, you've been talking for an hour straight, raspy throat. But actually almost 2 hours straight. I got my time zones confused. But while I have you guys, just remember, I mean, we got 1,500, 1,600 of you guys watching at noon on a frickin' Monday. I'm so stoked for the draft stream, guys. Like, the draft this year is going to be so lit. So just remember to set notifications on your phone for draft night. I think it's April 29th. It's April 29th. Yeah, April 29th, prime time. Set notifications so you don't forget to come back. We're going to have a lit draft stream. Teddy's going to be there. Fiance is going to be there helping with the graphics. So it's going to be a great time. From all around the world. That's right, Robert. Let's get every country representing. And then I also wanted to, before we start talking football again, I wanted to kind of give an update on the next 6-7 weeks. So I am taking a brief vacation this weekend. So content's going to be slow throughout the week. I'm glad we got this stream out. This has been outstanding. I do hope to get probably 2 videos up this week, which is slow by my standards. I want to do another top 10 positional breakdown before I go, and then do a free agent reactions deal before I leave. I don't know if it'll be my final, free agent grades video or whatever. That might be next week. But yeah, just content this week going to be a little bit slower. But once I get back, you guys can expect mock drafts to pick back up. It's also mock drafts right now. It's tough because needs are changing every hour. But let's get back to it. People are saying that the Jags traded DJ Chark for Orlando Brown. If that's the case, that is brutal. And I was basically getting off on the wrong foot with Urban Meyer because DJ Chark is worth twice what Orlando Brown is worth, in my opinion. So that'd be freaking brutal. But I did get a couple super chats. One just came in. Thank you very much, whoever that was. But from Daddy Krugs. Got a notification on Sleeper that the Packers are in talks with multiple big-name wide receivers. All right, let's make it happen. I mean, that'd be pretty awesome. Pretty freaking awesome. If they could still swing in Will Fuller somehow, make it work, that would make the Aaron Jones signing look much better. And I would be able to relax a little bit. But I have no expectations at all for that front office. From Matt Bing. Is your last name really Bing? Your name is Matt Bing? I am jealous. Also, someone asked, am I going to stream day 2 or 3 of the draft? Yes, I will be live for every single pick of the draft. So that's going to be dope. And I'm going to do it all on YouTube this year. I've been switching it over to Twitch in the past. I think I'm just going to do it all on YouTube this year. That said, go follow my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/ThatFranchiseGuy for other streams, mostly Madden stuff, but I think I am going to do the full draft stream all on YouTube. I might do day 3 on Twitch. We'll see how it all goes. But the way things are looking, I'm probably going to be doing it all here on YouTube. Matt Bing, can I recap everything that's happened so far? Oh, man, a $10 super chat. No, I can't recap everything, but I love the Patriots signings. Love the Ravens signing Zeitler. The Panthers have really disappointed me with their offensive line decisions. Other than that, anything else really stand out? Everything else I think has just been kind of fine. The Bucks did a really good job kind of finagling in Shaq Barrett there, making that all happen. Bucks are going to be lethal next year. Lions, good move to get Aquara back. So, that's a quick recap. Is there a way to do it on both for Twitch and YouTube? That's a good question. I think there is a way to do it on both. I'll have to look into that and think about if that makes sense. Thoughts on Akwara and what the Lions should prioritize in round 1. I think getting Akwara is back. Getting him back is good. I don't think it's smart for them to get worse on that roster. Defensive line was a piece, a need that they have. As far as round 1 priority, I think either offensive line or secondary is where I would go. But they can really go anywhere. They could draft a quarterback. They could go receiver. Anywhere other than like tight end and running back. So they can really go anywhere. I would prioritize personally either, receiver definitely could make sense. Corner or offensive line would be what I'm kind of prioritizing round 1 there. And there's going to be some good options there. But I would just go best player available straight up for the Lions. Like unless it's, even Kyle Pitts would be pretty sweet there. Pair him with Hawkinson, but I probably wouldn't do that. So unless it's a tight end or a running back, I would just go best player available for them. From EK, thoughts on how the Bears should handle the quarterback? Well, it looks like the Bears are going all in for Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson. That's like their plan A, B, and C right now. Which makes sense. You're not really getting an upgrade to Nick Foles in free agency. Dalton would be better. Brissett would be better, but Andre is spamming the retweet button. You're not upgrading in free agency to the point where you're winning a Super Bowl. So you got Foles there. I think they're just we're going to try to get either Watson or Wilson. It's probably unlikely, but if we can pull this off, let's do it. And then if they can't, they're going to have to get desperate in the draft. They're going to have to trade up. I think Mac Jones to them would be a phenomenal play, but they probably got to give up a future first to move up and jump ahead and get that done, which is risky, but I think that's kind of the position they're in. The rest of the roster is great. Really, right tackle or just tackle in general is a need, but I don't think their tackles are quite as bad as Bears fans lead on. It's not ideal, but I think their offensive line can definitely be serviceable next year the way it is. Can you go into a little more detail on your thoughts on the Panthers' 2 line signings? Do I have to? So, if you're a Panthers fan and you follow me, you probably know that I have been opportunistic about the Panthers. I think they've made good decisions. They know what they're doing. They want to figure out the quarterback spot. But Pat Elflein and who's the freaking other guy that they paid? It's just, like I was saying, it's not that the contracts themselves are so bad, because they'll be able to get out of those deals next year, because those guys will be cut next year. But that's what they're doing. Those are the starters that they want. And those are two... The problem with that is Cam Irving, thank you. Cam Irving, Pat Elflein, even if they are replacement level starters, which is best case scenario, is they figure some things out, they improve their technique, and become half decent starters. That is the same outlook for any of the 50 available veteran minimum guards and all these guys. They are identical players. They are, oh crap, we need an 8th or a 9th offensive lineman. Let's bring these 5 guys in for a workout and sign the one that looks like he's in the best shape for a league minimum contract. And they just paid 2 of those guys to be their only plans for those position groups. That's the problem with the process. It's not like they just screwed their future over, but it's not good value. Thoughts on Zach Taylor? Will he work out? I don't have any strong opinions on Zach Taylor. I don't genuinely believe in him. I believe in the scheme and the system that he comes from, but I don't really believe that he's the guy necessarily to implement that and get the most out of everyone. I don't know. My gut tells me is that they're going to be good because I love Joe Burrow, but it's going to be like a Mike McCarthy situation where the quarterback is just the coach is holding back a team that has a great quarterback. I think is the most likely thing there. And then they never fire him because it's not like he's ever bad. But Dolphins are looking for Kareem Hunt. That'd be a good move for them. Cowboys have interest in Devontae Keyz. We talked a little bit about Cowboys getting some good budgets, safeties. News has definitely slowed down. We haven't had anything really to react to for a while now. So we're hitting the 2-hour mark. I don't really want to head out, but my voice is starting to leave me. We're not getting any news. I mean, I could do like a mock draft and see if we get any news in the process. That might be fun. All right. It is technically mock draft Monday. Just joining the stream. I don't know if you addressed this, but what moves do you think the Giants need to make before the draft? A guard would be nice. A guard like Kevin Zeitler would be nice for them. I don't know if they have a good balanced roster. I don't think the Giants are really desperate to do anything before the draft. The last thing they need to do, though, is overspend anywhere. So I think the Giants should be patient, maybe find a Marvin Jones or find some value signings, but I don't think the Giants should be jumping the gun a whole lot here. Is there any chance 49ers trade up for a QB? Who would that be? I think there's a chance, but it's not very likely, I would say. And it would probably be for Fields or Lance. I don't think they'd do it for Mac Jones because that's just, you have to give so much. I mean, maybe Mac Jones falls to them, actually, but Mac Jones, Jimmy Garoppolo, is it that much of an upgrade? You would save a lot of cap space, but you're probably not trading up for Mac Jones. A mock draft would be cool from SGJ. Yeah, let's maybe it's mock draft Monday. I'm not making a mock draft this week. Let's just do an on the fly. Don't hold me to it. Mock draft kind of with the new news that we have, the new information that we have. You know, let's just have some fun here. I like the PFF mock draft. I'm just gonna Google it, I think. Unless I can find. Yeah, let's go. I'm working on my typing, guys. This is embarrassing, but I've never been a good typer because I became a really fast typer when I was in like 3rd, 4th grade because I played a lot of RuneScape. So I was typing like this, right? And I became like a really efficient typer like that. Like I can type decently fast just kind of doing this. And I've, created my own style a little bit, but I'm trying to actually type with my full 10 fingers. So I'm kind of, taking some time to train myself like a 5th grader how to actually type. All right, we gotta select all these. I'm gonna just do it all, every team sort of. And you guys, I'm not on Twitter, so you guys can update me. Just don't. We'll do a 2-rounder. All right. I'll poke in every once and again, but wow, Patriots interested in Judon. That D-line would... Dude, this is actually... Oh, man. Dude. How do I even want to word this? Telling you guys my typing. You wonder why I get so many typos too. We got another super chat. Would I take a look at your mock? I would. I just don't know how. I mean, if you tweet it at me, I'd take a look. That's worth a quote tweet. I said if I don't know. Anyway, Twitter's annoying. Let's do this mock draft. Unless that super chat, unless it shows up, react to it. Hopefully I don't forget. I appreciate the super chat there, so I would like to take a look at your mock draft if I can. But anyway, let's do this thing. Mock draft Monday on Free Agency Frenzy. This is hype. Obviously, Lawrence 1, Zach Wilson 2, and then for Miami at 3. I'm just sticking with chalk here. I'm taking Sewell. Now, I'm having more and more doubts about Justin Fields lately. I wouldn't be trading up here for Fields. I wouldn't be trading up here for Lance. I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting cold feet on them or what, but I went and rewatched both those guys yesterday. Has Dallas made any moves? Asked Matt Bing. No, they have not, but I saw they were interested in DeMonte Keyz, which would be a fantastic signing for them. That'd be a hell of a signing for them. Good free safety, great scheme fit, familiar with Dan Quinn. But, I don't know, man. I've talked a lot about the Falcons, why it makes sense, but I went in and watched these guys, both Fields and Trey Lance yesterday, because I wanted to come to a conclusion on who do I like more. Ultimate Pikachu tweeted his mock draft. But I should hope he's reliable, because I'm going off the beaten path here. We're going to take a look at Carter's mock here, but I don't know, man. I just have my doubts about both players. My gut tells me Trey Lance is eventually going to be better, but there's just so much work to do there. And Fields, there's so many flashes with Fields where it's like, if you could get that consistently, you're set, but the flashes are just so few and far between. Also from Atomic Champ, talked about Jacoby Brissett to the Eagles. I mean, there's not much to really say. He's backup. They like having a backup. He'd be their Nick Foles. Like, there's not really much to say there. He wouldn't cost a whole lot. So, but I did talk about that a little bit earlier. So this is a mock draft from someone that came in with a super chat. Pitts to the Bengals with Chase gone. That makes sense. So I'm thinking about this for the Falcons. We'll come back to my mock in a second. Lions taking Parsons. I just wouldn't get too excited about it, but It's fine. Fields to the Panthers. I think that's Fields and Lance. Like, that's about the sweet spot there. And then it's a good mock. I think a lot of this makes sense. Vikings taking Rousseau. If they go edge, then I think that's the guy they go with. But I think the Vikings kind of like their edge guys. It's not the worst pick, but I wouldn't be crazy about that. Football team comes up for Mac Jones. If Mac Jones is there for the Patriots, I think they got to take him, even with Cam Newton there. Surtain goes to the Cardinals. Yeah, that'd be sweet. Quiddy Pay to the Raiders is fine. Browns come up for JOK. That's solid. Aside of the Colts, I've soured a little bit on Asai. I don't think I would probably spend that high of a pick on Asai. At this point, I'd rather go Aguilari. I think with J.C. Horn there would be a better pick for the Colts. You've got Cosme is there. You don't have Cosme in the first round. Yeah, I mean, Cosme's got to be the pick there for the Colts if he's there. Titans get Aguilari, that's fine. Jenkins to the Jets, I make that pick a lot. Like the Humphrey pick. Merrick is good. Eichenberg, again, I just like Cosme more than them. Phillips to the Ravens would be fine. Tony the Packers, all right. Tylan Wallace for the Saints at 28. Wow. Receiver's a huge need. I think they would prefer more of a separator type, but that's a good mock. It's a good mock. I like it. I still like Travis Etienne of the Bucks, but let's go back to my mock here. Make sure we don't have any news. Okay, so the Falcons, I was just talking about Fields, Lance. I'm souring on those guys. I still think they're first round players, but and because this is me in every team's shoes, I'm not trading up for them either. Like, if I'm taking them at 4, if I'm anybody, I would just do it if I'm the Falcons. But I'm souring on that idea. And I think what I'm going to do, I'd love to trade down, but like, who would trade up here? I don't see anyone here that would trade up. Maybe the Giants come up for Jamar Chase? Jamar Chase to the Falcons is overkill. They have a really good receiving core. I mean, Chase, it makes some sense, but like, if you're going future, this is the thing. If you're going for the future, take Fields. Because Jamar Chase isn't going to get a ton of opportunities there in that offense that is a lot of 2 wide receiver. You know what? I'm going to take Kyle Pitts. In the Shanahan offense, I'm taking Kyle Pitts. Titans love their tight ends. There's room for him and Hurst. You don't have to extend Hurst. So that's my pick there. The Bengals are up. And I have not picked with the Bengals. All right, Jamar Chase is still there. I lied. Okay, that's the pick. And then the Eagles, I'm going to stick with Devontae. Actually, gosh, this is tough. So I actually just moved Jalen Waddle ahead of Devontae Smith. But in this situation, I still think Devontae Smith makes a ton of sense for the Eagles because you have your speedster already in Rieger, and you drafted a bunch of speedsters. You signed a bunch of speedsters last year. So in this situation, I still think Devontae Smith makes them a better football team, even though I pushed Waddle up. So I'm going to grab Devontae Smith. And then Detroit here, I would love to trade down. Would anyone come up for Justin Fields at this point? Maybe San Francisco? Let's see. Can we get a deal from San Francisco? Do they propose picks, or how does this work? Here's the teams interested. I thought it would propose a pick for me. So either, I mean, San Francisco, Denver could come up, but I mean, I don't see how Fields falls to 8. Well, this is a what I would do mock draft, so we don't have to worry about what could or would happen. I mean, Denver knows that Carolina's going to take, in this situation, Carolina's just going to take whoever, like, we're going to take either Fields or Lance for Carolina. So Denver could come up and just make sure that it's not the Niners or someone else coming up. That would probably be worth the risk for Denver. And I like that for Detroit. Just move down a few spots. So let's do that. Let's go 9 and 71 for 7. Okay, that worked. So we'll do that. I like Fields with all those weapons. Giving up a 3rd round pick to make that happen. So the Panthers, I will take Trey Lance here to play behind that crappy offensive line. And then Detroit trading down here, I'm cool with Waddle. Waddle, Farley. I'm cool. I mean, they can. It's just best player available, and right now Jalen Waddle is the best player available. So let's give Goff some help. We'll go Jalen Waddle. Although I still like some offensive line picks there. Have we got any news while we're doing this? Lions and Jags, that'd be a good move. Either of those teams for John Johnson would make a lot of sense. All right, let's go back to our mock draft. So the Cowboys at 10. It's always chalk to just go with a corner. I think that's the move. I like the idea of them taking a tackle, but I think I'm going to go with Surtain. And then the Giants here with Waddle gone. I'm either going Micah Parsons or with Caleb Farley. I think it's one of those two guys here. And in the Giants' case, I think that they can elevate another corner. So I'm going to take Micah Parsons here. Because they run that hybrid Belichick system. And I just think as a blitzer, run defender, he would play a lot like Devin White in this system. He could also play a lot of edge outside linebacker for them in certain packages. So I do like Micah Parsons there. I'm not taking Slater as a guard at 11 for them. No way. You can find guards in other places. And then the Niners, I think it's Caleb Farley. No. Christian Darrisaw. No. Rashawn Slater falling to them here. That's an easy pick. Rashawn Slater, left tackle. Unbelievable scheme fit. Giants are taking Barmore. Come on. I mean, it's definitely possible. Chargers get Darrisaw. That's easy. And then the Vikings at 14. I want to trade down. Does someone want to jump? Okay, we're going to jump. Oh, is it, for the Vikings, is it worth the one team that I was going to say we trade up for here was the Bears. Is it worth for the Vikings to give them a quarterback? Probably not. So that complicates that. You could go Barm. I want to trade down here if I'm Minnesota. They don't have a second round pick. So I'm shopping the pick. I'm just looking at the other teams. So your top players are going to be Farley, Bateman, Mac Jones, Cosme. Yeah, the football team could come up for Mac Jones. Let's do that. Let's come up with a football team, jump New England. Or we could just trade down with New England. Threaten New England. Move down to 15 and then move down again. I don't think New England would overpay to go get Mac Jones because they got Cam Newton. So let's go with the football team. We got a super chat. As a Seahawks fan, I'm worried we'll be stuck in our situation, making the playoffs, losing in the first round. Do you think we have a chance at a Super Bowl in the next years? Yeah, totally. You got Russell Wilson, your quarterback. You're always going to be in the Super Bowl contention. They just got to start doing some things correctly. I think the new scheme for the offense is going to change a lot of things for the better. And they just got to get back to playing good defense, which they're a few pieces away from doing. So, yeah, Seahawks, they'll be in the Super Bowl contention for sure. All right, we're going to move down to the football team. 19 and a third? Is that? Let's just see if that's enough. I don't really care about the details. That's kind of irrelevant for this situation. Football team does what they can. We're only doing a 2-round mock, so not going to stress over that. We're going to come up for Mr. Mac Jones for the football team. I like that move for them. And then the Patriots, I think the guys I usually draft for them are gone here, so that complicates their draft here. Patriots always love to trade down. Bateman would be a decent fit there, but I don't know. I like Rondale Moore, but it's a little bit too high for him. Cardinals are licking their chops. Could we threaten them? Could we threaten the Cardinals and just move down one spot for a 4th-round pick? And then see what happens then. I mean, this is a classic Belichick, like, winning between the margins thing. Cardinals don't have a lot of picks, though. But if we're threatening to, trade with someone else, why not? I mean, go get Farley. I'm both teams. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to get a 4th-round pick to just move down a spot. So Cards are going to grab Farley. This happens. It seems weird, but that happens. It happened last year. Cards have no 4th. Well, maybe they play that differently. I don't know. I'm sorry if my math was off. You'll survive. You get the idea. Maybe they give up a 3rd next year or something. The Cards do what they need to do to come up. Get Caleb Farley. We get some draft capital, and then we're in the same spot again. Probably no one anyone's trading up for here. Gregory Rousseau for the Patriots is fascinating, but I kind of like their pass rushers. J.C. Horn is fascinating. Go back to the South Carolina well. And then they don't have a ton of needs anymore. Playmaker is their big need. I want Rondale Moore here if I'm them. But the problem is, dude, you know what? Fuck it. We're taking Rondale Moore. It seems crazy, but you guys heard me talking about Cam Newton. Just get Cam Newton's a smart dude. You can have a great running game with the offensive line you have. Harris is stud. Newton himself can run the ball. The passing game with Cam Newton can work if you have Jonnu Smith and Rondale Moore. That's perfect for Cam Newton. I don't care if this is an overpay. I'm just going to do it because he is unbelievable after the catch. You can find ways to get manufactured touches. And you have him, Jonnu Smith, your offense is functional. All of a sudden, you have a running game, your quarterback can run the ball, you have a smart quarterback that can take care of the football, and have receivers that will create amazing first downs. And yes, Rashad Bateman is a more traditional, better receiver, but for this team, this is the best decision, I think, for the Patriots to try to win. So we're going to grab Rondale Moore. And then the Raiders, we're going to go Gregory Rousseau. That's easy. And then the Dolphins, Rashad Bateman. Vikings, where we traded down. I'm going to take Christian Barmore here. And then the Bears, tough spot for them. You're probably looking Cosme, Tevin Jenkins, offensive line is probably where I'm going here. So let's grab Cosme. It's a good pick for them. And then the Colts, I think Pay maybe. I think I'm going to go Kwity Paye. I don't like their edge group much. So we're going to go Paye. Good 4-3 defense. I like him in both systems, but he can play 4-3 defensive end for sure. Him stunting with frickin' what's his name next to him? Buckner. Those guys doing crazy ass stunts with their quickness would be super nice. Titans up. Losing their cover linebacker and Jayon Brown. JOK could be a good pick for them. JC Horn would be a great pick for them. Although you're trusting the LSU corner to step up next year. Ajalari would work. You could get a Tevin Jenkins, get a legit right tackle there for Tennessee. The Titans all of a sudden have so many needs. You could grab Asante Samuel. Titans all of a sudden have so many needs, but this is not easy. You need a wide receiver. You could go with like a Kadarius Toney. If I could trade down here, I think that might be a good call. But is there anyone worth trading up for here? Maybe the Jags come up for Tevin Jenkins, jump the Jets. Let's do that. We're going to trade with the Jags. We're going to get 25 for 22. And let's grab... let's do a swap there and a swap here. Coming up 20 spots into the top of the third. That's probably too big of a jump. Let's go here to here. Jags are going to come up, and we're going to grab a right tackle, Tevin Jenkins. Jets now. What receivers are sitting there? No one I'm drafting there at receiver. How about O-line? Oh, it's a tough spot for the Jets. This would be worst case for them to get jumped. All of a sudden, that... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. They're giving me hope. But geez, how did I pick up 25 followers or 30 followers in the last hour? What the hell? I'm not seeing the Judon thing, but that just makes, I mean, oh, there you go, Josina Anderson. I don't. We'll see what the money is, but he is their type. I'm just the Patriots defense is gonna be so sneaky good. Not even sneaky good. They're just gonna be fucking good. I'm buying into the Patriots. I'm buying into the Patriots next year for sure, especially if they get Rondale Moore in the draft. Am I right? What's this? Oh, all right. Back to the mock draft. Kamu Kruger heel to the Texans. Whatever. He's depth. Okay. So the Jets up here. God, am I gonna take Elijah Vera Tucker here? I'm not crazy about any of these receivers. Maybe we look to trade down. I mean, should we move down? Let's move down with the Browns. Let's have the Browns come up for JOK. I'm probably forgetting someone on my draft board that's way higher here, but I don't think so. I'm going to move down with Cleveland here. Not going to get a ton, but why the heck not? Because I don't really love any of the players there, and I think it makes sense for Cleveland. So you get a 4th round pick. Is that even a 4th? This is the 4th, right? It doesn't matter. They get the 4th round, the Browns' 4th rounder. 3 spots. We're going to grab JOK. Steelers, I am going to take Najee Harris. Titans, I think I might take JC Horn. Phillips would be decent. Samuel would be a good scheme fit. You did lose your tight end, so maybe like Pat Freiermuth, but I think you could get Brevin Jordan in the 2nd. So they do need a receiver, but I think the pick for me is JC Horn. You don't know what your corner situation is going to look like next year, and he's a really good man corner, so we're going to go there. Jets, after moving down, I think now I'm going to take Elijah Vera Tucker after you got an extra pick. Because the tackles here, Radune's moving him over to right tackle. I don't get too excited about. Eichenberg is solid, but I think at 34 you can probably get one of these guys. This is a huge, all these guys other than Leatherwood, if you can get any of these dudes, I think you're fine with it. I think we're gonna grab Vera Tucker here. Am I though? I'm just not huge on Vera Tucker. Maybe we should grab a receiver now and go with our best offensive lineman at 34. Which, by the way, Sam Darnold's still on the roster at this point. We probably should find somewhere for Sam Darnold. Let's go Darnold to the Bears with this pick, with 52. So we're going to just grab a receiver, and I'm not like stoked about this pick, but I'm going to take Terrace Marshall. I just don't get excited. My gut tells me to just grab Tylan Wallace. I trust Tylan Wallace to be a great impact for that team. I love the way he's going to fit. Screw it, dude. I'm taking Tylan Wallace. I just don't believe so much in Terrace Marshall. Tylan Wallace, I'm sticking true to my evaluations. I know it seems crazy, but go there, and then we'll grab an offensive tackle later. All right, Ravens up. They filled the guard need, so you like that. You're either looking edge or receiver. Is Terrace Marshall. Danielle Hunter is exploring trades. That's not a huge surprise. I don't know if that's going to work out, but it does make sense with his injury record. And the fact that he wants to get paid and the Vikings can't really afford to pay him what he wants. So it does kind of make sense. For the Ravens here, is Terrace Marshall a significant upgrade over Miles Boykin in year one? Probably not. Kind of similar athletes. Boykin's the one with the experience. I don't see Lamar like elevating Terrace Marshall at his age into some great impact right away. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna grab Creed Humphrey, who I always forget how freaking low PFF is on Creed Humphrey, which maybe would have been a better pick for the Jets. But I don't hate the Jets center, so I think that's fine. But I'm gonna grab Creed Humphrey here for the Ravens. Go on Twitter. Something happened. No, I don't want notifications. I just want... to see what's happening. Wow, first round tender on Darius Williams. So that's like an $8 million cap hit. I mean, that's a good move for them. Jason Barrett's returning to San Francisco on a one-year deal. Makes sense. He's got to prove that he can stay healthy. I don't think anyone wanted to pay him longer than 1 year. I'm not seeing anything crazy on Twitter here. Okay. Saints are up. I think this is probably the Kadarius Toney pick. Merrick's a great scheme fit. They brought Williams back, but Merrick would still be a nice scheme fit, but I don't think you go there. Corner is in need now. Samuel's there. Greg Newsome's a good scheme fit for what they want to do. Lattimore's up in the air. They like longer corners, I think. So it's either Newsome or Samuel. Both would be good picks. What do you guys think, chat? If you're Saints, would you take Samuel or Newsome? I like both players a lot. Samuel's higher on my board, but I feel like Newsome might be a better scheme fit. All right, MSM says Asante, so we'll go Asante. I like that pick. He's a good replacement for the corner that they just released. For the Packers here, I mean, you could go. There's so many places you could go. It sounds like they might be interested in Corey Davis, which would be freaking nuts. I wish we knew if that was going to happen. Danielle Hunter officially requested a trade. It's not a surprise. That's been an ugly situation there. I just don't know. I don't know what his value is going to be. Because if you got to pay him and give up a premium pick, that's tough. Just check Rappaport. Let's see what... I should be doing this. I should just have this. Andre Roberts, the Texans, good special teamer. But let's go back to the mock. I think for the Packers, with Tylan Wallace gone, I think I'm leaving receiver alone here. Lots of depth in this class, but a little bit early for any of these guys. I think I'm going to go... Tony would be fun, Tony would be fun in that offense, but I'd rather take Darden in the second than Tony in the first. So I'm going to grab, I think, Greg Newsome here for the Packers. That corner spot is just brutal. Bills are up. Azeez Ojulari here makes a ton of sense for them. We're going to go there. Chiefs, we know exactly where we need to go here. Dylan Radunes. Easy pick. And then the Bucks, who have kept the whole band back together at this point. Let's go Travis Etienne. All right, Jags are back up. Jags came up for Tevin Jenkins. I don't know if they're going to get Orlando Brown or not, so we'll say the tackle need has been filled. I'm going to take Kadarius. No, they have Laviska Shenault. Let's go double. Actually, no. Trayvon Merrick's still there, isn't he? Trayvon Merrick. Safety's a huge need for them. Let's start working on that defense. Okay. Jets need offensive lines, so let's grab Eichenberg. Let's kick Eichenberg over to right tackle. He'll be a good pass protector. Falcons, we drafted Pitts earlier. They do need a guard. Elijah Vera Tucker would be a pretty good pick for them. They kind of need center, but defense, would we go with an edge rusher here? I just wouldn't get too excited about any of these edge guys here. I think I'm going to go... Corner is a need, but that's a bit early. Safety's a big need, but that's a little early. Defensive interior is too early. So we're just going to go best player available, and I think Elijah Vera Tucker is going to be the call here. Just versatile dude. Probably going to start at guard for you. Okay, Miami's up. We need to go... We can really go in a lot of directions here. That defensive end spot just did become a need, but probably not taking that here. Tony would be fun. I think Tony would be fun here. Let's go Tony. Gives you that playmaker type. He'd be really good with Tua. All right, Eagles, after we took Devontae Smith. Is there a corner that would make sense? Yeah, probably a little early for any of these guys. Safety, maybe a little early. How about Zaven Collins here for the Eagles? Bit of a slip for him. Bengals are up. So we need an offensive line here for the Bengals. Good. This is a good board for them. They get a good offensive lineman here. So I think I'm going to take Jalen Mayfield because he can either be a guard or a right tackle, but he's a true right tackle as opposed to Walker Little, who's more of that left tackle. So I'm going to go Jalen Mayfield there. Panthers, we got Trey Lance. Playmakers, they're probably okay. Unless you wanted to go with a tight end like Pat Freiermuth. This would be a decent pick. Defense, there's not really... I mean, maybe a corner, but that's a little early. So I'm going to grab... I think I'm going to go Pat Freiermuth here for them. Broncos, we took Trey Lance earlier, so... Dickerson would be a decent pick. I'm not a big fan of their center. I'm glad we did this because the news has definitely slowed down. And I would not have been able to keep talking for this whole time. Although Supreme Glizzy says check Twitter. I'm not seeing anything. I keep hitting notifications when all I want to do is this. Anyway, let's go back to the mock draft. Tough spot for Denver here. They still need a corner, but corner board did not fall well for them here. But maybe we should take Eric Stokes. Twitter accounts to follow for reliable, constant news around the league. Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, and @TFG_football. Okay, Detroit. We went with Waddle. Is there a right tackle we like here? Or an interior offensive lineman? Not really. So let's take that off. Corner, definitely not. Could go safety like Richie Grant, but that's a little early. Edge, not a need anymore. I mean, we could double up at receiver. Could take a chance on Jalen Phillips. All of a sudden, I don't like the Jalen Waddle pick as much. I'd rather have Slater at right tackle and then draft a receiver here. This is a tough spot for Detroit. I think man. This just became really tough. Detroit's such a hard team to pick for. I think I'm going to take Nick Bolton. Be a good scheme fit there. I don't love that pick, but let's just keep it moving. Could see them doing that. Okay, Giants. We took Micah Parsons. I think if we could get a guard here, that'd be... Actually, I'm going to take Landon Dickerson. He's a total New York Giant. I know Giants fans like Nick Gates, but... yeah. I'm going to go Dickerson. He's good. I trust him more than the other guards. I'm not a huge Wyatt Davis fan. Niners. Maybe a corner. They did just sign Jason Verrett. All of a sudden, the Niners are looking pretty damn good here. Tough. This is getting harder and harder. I guess. I guess I'm going like defensive tackle. Beef up the front a little bit. No, there's too many guys. There's too many guys in this class to take one here. What do you do for the Niners here? Travis Etienne? No, he's gone. What the heck do you do? Probably trade down, but I want to keep this thing moving. I got nothing, man. I got no options here for the Niners. Mond? No way am I taking Mond. Maybe a Derek? No. This is really difficult. We could just draft a... Could draft an edge. I mean, that's the value, is one of those, like Jalen Phillips. You know they love pass rush. I mean, this would be a great risk. If he works, if he stays healthy. Let's do that. I mean, it's kind of a luxury pick, but we had nowhere else to go, so. Go Jalen Phillips. And then for the Cowboys, I think this is Richie Grant. Took Surtain. I like this combo here for the Cowboys. Although they were rumored to sign a free safety. You know what? I'm going to pivot off of that. I'm going to take Walker Little because I think Tyron Smith only has one more year left on this team. Walker Little maybe needs a year to get up to speed. So I'm going to take a tackle for the future there and just go safety and free agency. Jags, we got a safety. Corner's in need, but there's no one I'm taking here. D-line's fine. We got Tevin Jenkins. Guards are fine. Probably a receiver. I think this is going to be Terrace Marshall. We're going to reunite him with... Not reunite, but let's go double LSU receivers on the outside. He can develop with Trevor Lawrence. Patriots. So the defense is really shaping up. They don't have a ton of needs on that defense. So going back to the offense, O-line's good. We can still get another receiver here. Dude. It's totally overkill, but it's something to think about. Or... Actually, I think Brevin Jordan is the pick. Go back to 2 tight ends. You got Edelman. You got Rondale Moore. Brevin Jordan is just like Jonnu Smith, but you got 2 of them now. And I'm just going to kind of build around Cam Newton. Build an offense that will work with Cam Newton. That's what we're doing. I love it. I've totally talked myself into it. And you're establishing a great situation for a future quarterback. Okay, Chargers. I mean, with Wyatt Davis still there, you can either go Wyatt Davis or, I mean, technically my highest rated guard is Trey Smith. But with their track record of injuries and their doctors, no freaking way I'm doing that. Quinn Miners also would be pretty freaking sweet. Who's their center right now? Their center sucks, right? Mike Pouncey. I'm going to take Quinn Miners. I'm taking Quinn Miners. Okay, Raiders. How about a receiver? Diami Brown could be a deep threat for them. They need guard. Maybe Wyatt Davis to play right guard. They also need a right tackle. So, let's see. Carmen's kind of their type, and he could be a guard or a tackle. I actually have him as a guard on my board, but for the Raiders, they play these kind of maulers at right tackle. So I think Carmen's the play there. He's kind of there. Ruggs exists, yes. I'm glad I didn't take a receiver because that's very true. Okay. Arizona. I want a complimentary wide receiver here. Diami Brown. Yeah, I'm going to go Diami Brown, put Kirk in the slot. Or Seth Williams. I like Seth Williams there as a DK Metcalf type. But I think it's Diami Brown is the pick. Okay, Dolphins. Chat, you guys are killing me with these Packers rumors. Corey Davis to the Packers. We'll see, man. I don't have any expectations for that. All right, Dolphins have gone with Tony. Yeah, news is hella slow. I'm glad we did the mock draft because still good though. Okay, we went Bateman and Tony and Sewell. Like, offense is pretty freaking set at this point. So Defensive end opened up as a need. Just edge, defensive end, like Ronnie. Oh, Asai. Asai is the pick. Replace Van Noy. That is the pick right there. Joseph Asai. Love it. All right, football team. We got Mac Jones. We need a receiver. Need a receiver, and it's going to be Jalen Darden. Pretty easy pick there for the football team. Bears, I wanted to send this pick for... We're going to get Sam Darnold with this pick. So let's just... Doesn't really matter. It's Sam Darnold for this pick. What's going on? Did it not update? Oh, I'm just an idiot. Okay. No, it didn't update. Trade with the Jets. And I don't care what... Alright, it's not updating. You guys know what this is. This is the New York Jets on the clock. And we're going to go... We took Wallace. We took Eichenberg. I'm going to grab Wyatt Davis. No. I'm going to trust my eyes and go Trey Smith. Hopefully he can stay healthy. This is kind of a luxury pick because you got it for Darnold. So I'm going to trust my eyes, go Trey Smith. Titans are up. We got a corner earlier. I'm thinking... No. Wide receiver. Elijah Moore here would be really fun. We're going to go Elijah Moore here. Replace, he can be that kind of playmaker type here. They're going to stick with that offense. Colts are up. We took edge. We need a left tackle. I'm going to surprise some people with this one. Too early for Brady Christensen, though. I think you could start at left tackle for them. None of these... I don't mind Tutu here. But I'm going to have a little fun. I'm going to move up with Green Bay. Receivers are flying off the board. I'm going to give up, I don't know, 4th and a 5th, whatever. Whatever it takes. That's irrelevant. Not sure exactly what the details would be there. But you don't have to give up too much to make this move. And then we're going to come up and take Tutu Atwell. To give you a legitimate 4-3 speed guy. Oh, you got to click the 52 to send it to the Jets. Oopsies. That's the Jets pick right there, Trey Smith. Steelers up. Leatherwood is a total Pittsburgh Steeler. He could be a tackle. He could be a guard. I like Leatherwood to that team. Run those inside zones. I think he's a better guard than Wyatt Davis if you play him there. But they have needs there. We're going to go Leatherwood. I like that pick a lot. Seahawks up. Go to Wyatt Davis. Could trust their ability to develop an edge type. Corners, maybe a Tyson Campbell. Fetu Malafanu. A little early for me, though. You can have your pick of the litter of pretty much any interior piece, but I am going to go... I guess with Wyatt Davis, left guard. That works. Rams, I like Jason Elway to the Rams. I just think it makes a ton of sense. They'll be able to free him up and stunt him around. Either that or Ronnie Perkins, but for the Ravens now to get Ronnie Perkins, go back-to-back Oklahoma. I think you could even double up here. You could even go all the way down here for, they might even have him as an interior piece, but I love, geez, how low are they on the Tulane kid? Cam Sample. You could probably get Cam Sample in the second. But, geez, to get Ronnie Perkins here, that's a freaking bargain for them. Browns. Bosham would make sense. Can rush a little bit of everywhere. Aleem McNeil would make sense. They could use some interior help. Campbell could work. Well, I forgot Javonte Williams is still there. Not for this team, obviously. I think it's Bosham. Unless I'm forgetting anyone on the edge here. Tryon could work. People like him, but I'm going to grab Bosch. I do like Cam Sample, but maybe not so much for this system. I think I like him a little more as like that power rushing outside linebacker. So I'm going to take Bosham. Saints are up. Ardarius Washington would be a good player for them. They could develop Amon-Ra St. Brown, though. We'll go St. Brown. I think they could develop him pretty well. So we'll go there. Bills are up. We took an edge earlier. Bills love their dime packages. Washington would play a lot for them. He'd be kind of a win-now piece as like a sixth defensive back. Javonte Williams would be an upgrade at running back, but that's not necessary. I'm gonna take. It's a bit of a luxury, but those safeties are getting up there in age. This gives you flexibility to maybe move on from one of those safeties. He could start in the slot as a dime corner, third safety. He would play a ton for this team and give you future flexibility. So I'm gonna go there. Judon confirmed finally. I mean, I've said it. I love what the Patriots are doing this free agency. I think they're crushing it. I really like what they're doing. Okay, Colts. After trading down, this is a great move for the Colts because I'm going to take a corner that a tackle that not many people are talking about. Brady Christensen would start at left tackle for them, in my opinion. I haven't seen the numbers yet, chat. I'm guessing it'll be 14, 15 million. Oh. Bingo bongo. Nailed it. Great contract. Okay, Chiefs. We grabbed tackle. We could go with another tackle or a guard or a center. I think this is probably the way to go. Who that player would be? Cleveland. I love Ben Cleveland. He would be a day one starter at guard for them. Probably the only guy left. I don't mind Drake Jackson. Josh Myers can play. Where do they have the Georgia kid? What the heck, PFF? A freak athlete center, true junior coming out of Georgia with a good grading profile. More athletic than pretty much everyone here other than James Hudson. Is the 256th player in the league. What the hell? Renner, you got to update that. I was thinking either one of the Georgia guys. And I think it's going to be Ben Cleveland because they need day one impact. I really like Ben Cleveland. I think he's just solid. But they also need edge. So is there anyone hanging out? I mean, Joe Tryon could work. Cam Sample could definitely play for them. I think the value might be... you can find someone that can play here. I'm going to go with one of those linemen. And I think because it's the Chiefs, I'm going to trust their ability to develop a Trey Hill. And then the Bucks, wrapping this thing up. Like, no needs left. You could go Ben Cleveland and just secure everything. But I'm going to take Cam Sample for the Bucks. In real life, they probably wouldn't do it. I'm super high on Cam Sample. But he can rush a little bit from the... Oh, wait, hold on. They might not be able to get Ndamukong Suh back. I'm going to grab Levi Onwuzurike, who actually could have been a decent pick for the Raiders, but I don't mind the Carmen pick because that tackle need opened up. But I don't know why PFF is so low on Levi, too. But there's the pick there. And there's your mock draft. So that was fun. I'm glad we did that. Really like this. That's interesting. They gave the Moore pick an A-, but the Bateman pick a C-. They like the Barmore pick. I did pretty good. They obviously hate the Najee Harris pick. They think Wallace was a reach. They think Creed Humphrey was a reach. They think a lot of these were reaches, but I don't. They hate the ETN pick. So what did you guys think? How did I do for your team? Would you be happy with me as your GM? Whoops. I gave all those picks on accident. This Bears pick, remember, this is the Jets. This is supposed to be the Jets. Trey Smith. Jalen Mills to the Pats. That's depth play. So I think, guys, now that we're done there, that was a lot of fun. But we're pushing 3 hours now. And the news has started to fly in. Oh my God, why? All right, now I'm confused. It's only $9 million guaranteed, so they're probably going to get rid of him. But that's just overkill. Patriots went 3 for 4 for me. Wow. That's a lot for Roy Robertson Harris, but he's a good football player. All right. That's going to do it, guys. Awesome stream. This went super well. We consistently had like 1,500 of you. We've tapered off a little bit as I messed around with the mock draft and news stopped flowing in. But super fun stream. Really glad we were able to do that. Reminder, guys, There's 1,100 of you right now, so if I have any less than 1,100 on draft night, I'm going to be disappointed in you guys. But draft night, May 29th, the whole weekend, I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be live. I'm going to have to get some hot tea or something because I'm super tired and my voice is running out. But I'll see you guys for draft night, for a live stream. Make sure you follow me on Twitch too, guys, if you enjoy this content. I'll drop the Twitch link here. If you like my Madden stuff, we've been doing mock drafts and stuff like this on Twitch too. So make sure you follow me on Twitch there, guys, so you don't miss out on that. But that was a really fun stream. If you didn't catch the whole thing, I think this is going to be a good video to just kind of go back and just kind of rewatch. So it was really fun. Thank you guys for hanging out. Really successful stream. All of you guys that did Super Chat, amazing. Appreciate you guys so much. I'm going to go get some food. And I love you guys. You guys make my world, man. Make it possible for me to do these things. We had more viewers for this stream than PFF had for their podcast this morning, which is just nuts. Like, I'm single-handedly outperforming PFF's live streams. So I don't know how I do it. I don't know why you guys like me so much, but I'm glad you do. It was fun reacting to all this stuff, and we'll see you guys later. Cheers. Where's the frickin' end stream button? The camera was blocking it.